You're in Konoha, and you call these ninja tools? This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 226 Tsunade's Rage. Fuji Fuyuki slammed the door and walked out. This made Tsunade's face look extremely ugly. Tianyu, do I look easy to talk to? Tsunade suddenly looked at Tianyu and asked this question. Why do you ask that? Tianyu was a little surprised. Tsunade was of course easy to talk to in front of him, and the same was true in front of close people. Although Tsunade beat Jiraiya up before, that was a manifestation of treating Jiraiya as her own. Otherwise, Tsunade would not even look at you. Then why, Fuji Fuyuki dared to be petty in front of me? Tsunade was very angry. She was just an actress, but she really took herself too seriously. After hearing this, Tianyu understood what Tsunade meant. He smiled immediately. Okay, don't be angry, it's not worth it for such a small matter, and she is just incompetent and furious, let her be. Tianyu smiled and comforted. Fuji Fuyuki might still think of herself as a princess of a country. After all, in this era, the status of nobles is much higher than that of ninjas. Even the most powerful ninjas have to obey the nobles, not to mention the princess of a country. Their status is much higher than that of these ninjas. Fuji Fuyuki was used to being high and mighty in the past, but now she is not used to it for a while. However, Fuji Fuyuki probably forgot that the current Konoha is not the Konoha ruled by the third Hokage, but a new Konoha. Here, whether it is a noble or a princess, the rights they get are no different from those of ordinary people. If you dare to act here and violate your noble rights, the only outcome is to anger Tianyu and be sent to prison. Although Tianyu has deep feelings for Konoha, he will not be servile to those nobles and smile at them. HMPH, Shizune, give me the documents. I want to announce that no matter which troop comes to Konoha to perform, they must abide by the rules and pay the fees. If they don't listen, then let them be expelled from Konoha forever. Tsunade was still very angry. Sitting on the chair, her chest heaving, she issued the order. The scale was extremely spectacular. The snow-white color made Tianyu's nose hot. It seems that women really can't be offended. Otherwise, you really don't know how long they will bear grudges. This, Lady Tsunade, this is not good. Shizune looked at the documents in her hand. She really didn't know what to do. After all, once this treaty came out, it was estimated that the troops that were still in Konoha would be in danger. After all, they were still used to enjoying the usual privileges. Once this privilege was lost, they would definitely have complaints in their hearts. What's wrong with it? Since the current Konoha is a brand new Konoha, then all the rules should be changed. If you want to get good treatment in Konoha, you have to rely on yourself, don't think about relying on any identity. Tsunade immediately retorted. Ahem, that, I still have to prepare for the mission tomorrow, I'll go back first. If you have anything, just call me at home. Tianyu didn't dare to stay any longer, so he turned and left. Wait, don't be too respectful to Fuji Fuyuki. She doesn't even want the princess status, so don't put on airs like a princess in front of me. If I know that she is acting like a princess or has a princess syndrome, don't blame me for being rude to her. Tsunade stopped Tianyu and warned him. Okay, I understand. Tianyu smiled and made a gesture of understanding, then left the office. Konoha was very quiet in the early morning. Various small vendors had closed their stalls and returned home. In other words, there was no one else except the patrolling ninjas. At this moment, the door of a hotel was quietly opened, and a woman walked out of the door. The woman looked around, and after not seeing anyone, she walked out of the door, and then kept running towards the entrance of Konoha's village. Obviously, she planned to leave the village overnight. But before she ran to the entrance of the village, she was stopped by someone. Brother Tianyu is right. Some people just want to sneak away at night. Brother Tianyu asked me to wait here. I didn't expect that I would really catch you, Miss Fuji Fuyuki. Naruto's figure appeared under the street light. The golden hair was particularly obvious under the street light. It's you, kid. Fuji Fuyuki obviously recognized Naruto and frowned at him with anger on her face. It's me, but I'm not a kid. I have a name. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I'm a ninja of Konoha. My future dream is to become a Hokage. Naruto said without hesitation. Get out of my way. Don't block the way. Fuyuki didn't take Naruto seriously. She still wanted to leave Konoha by force. Brother Tianyu said you can't leave. Shadow clone technique. Naruto stepped forward and stopped Fuyuki. And directly performed the shadow clone technique, with a flash of smoke. Dozens of Naruto appeared on the road of Konoha in an instant. They blocked the road. Unless Fuyuki could fly, she could only pass by knocking down Naruto in front of her. But if she attacked Naruto, the ninjas of the Hyuga family guard in the surroundings would attack without hesitation. At that time, Fuyuki could not survive under the attack of the Hyuga family ninjas. After all, attacking the son of the fourth-generation Hokage of Konoha in Konoha was enough to put Fuyuki in jail for life. What do you want? I want to leave Konoha. It's my freedom. Don't you want to restrict my freedom? Fuyuki looked at Naruto. Her hands weren't already on the knife. The ninjas around were staring at Fuyuki. They were just waiting for the moment when she attacked, and then they would take her down completely. But what everyone didn't expect was that Fuyuki squatted on the ground and cried after yelling at Naruto. Big tears fell directly. She looked so miserable. Hey, big sister, don't cry. This is what Brother Tianyu ordered. Brother Tianyu never makes mistakes. Naruto panicked when he saw the woman's tears. Dozens of shadow clones suddenly became a mess. Then these shadow clones disappeared directly, and Naruto's real body wanted to go forward and help Fuyuki up. But just when Naruto was about to touch Fuyuki, his body stopped directly. And Fuyuki's hand was also grabbed by Tianyu. Chapter 227, Tianyu's perfect calculation. Under the streetlight, the silver needle in Fuyuki's hand flashed with cold light. It can be said that if Tianyu had not acted in time to pull Naruto and Fuyuki, then the next moment, the silver needle would definitely pierce Naruto's body directly. Why are you like this? Seeing this scene, Naruto knew that he was deceived by Fuyuki. Humph, it's you again. Why do you always come out to interfere in my affairs? Is Konoha going to put me under house arrest? What qualifications do you have to forbid me to leave Konoha? Fuyuki looked at Tianyu and couldn't help but yelled loudly. Her eyes were red, and she forced herself to hold back her tears. Fuyuki is beautiful, otherwise she wouldn't have starred in the movie Princess Fengyan. So when Fuyuki looks at you like this, it's really pitiful. It makes people feel soft. But the beauty trap is useless to Tianyu. After all, there are many beauties in Konoha. Not to mention Tsunade and Shizune, Hinata, Tenten, even Ino and Sakura are good. There are also Materashi Red Bean, Maohi Yugeo, and even Yuhi Kurenai. There are all kinds of types. It is not comparable to Fuyuki. Tianyu did not answer Fuyuki. Instead, he looked at Naruto. Naruto, in future battles, you must not make the same mistake today. You must know that some women will play dirty tricks. They will use their own weaknesses to attract you to pity them. When you are tricked, everything is over, so you have to be careful of this. Fortunately, I appeared in time today to hold you back, and our Miss Fuyuki's silver needle is coated with anesthetics instead of poison. Otherwise, Naruto, you would have collapsed to the ground and let others deal with you. Tianyu admonished Naruto. After all, in Tianyu's view, one of Naruto's advantages is that he can quickly trust others. Because of the boy's experience, Naruto and others can empathize quickly. Feel the same for his experience. This is Naruto's advantage, but it is also Naruto's disadvantage. The advantage is that Naruto can establish a trusting relationship with others, but the disadvantage is that they will also take advantage of Naruto's point to achieve their own ulterior motives. As a ninja, you have to be one step ahead of others in perceiving human nature. You can't be weak, nor can you be careless. Yes, Brother Tianyu, I know. Naruto lowered his head, and it was obvious that the scene just now also made him a little dazed. He trusted people, but in the end he was betrayed. If it weren't for Brother Tianyu's timely appearance, then I'm afraid Naruto would really have to sleep here for a night. And the task of stopping Fuyuki would not be completed. Yet, Tianyu looked at Naruto, and finally couldn't help but stepped forward and rubbed Naruto's head to comfort him. But don't be depressed, you've done very well. Tianyu smiled and comforted. Yet, Naruto regained his previous liveliness. He is like this, never taking bad things to heart, and everything is just a smile. After comforting Naruto, Shianayu turned around and looked at Fujifuayuki. Ms. Fujifuayuki, I know why you want to leave Konoha. You just don't want to go back to the snow country and take on the responsibilities you should take on. Actually, I didn't want to say anything about this matter, and I didn't want to interfere in anything, but at least I have accepted the commission, so I have to send you to the snow country safely. And more importantly, if I let you leave Konoha now, then when the day breaks, what I will see should be your corpse. Shianayu crossed his arms and said to Fujifuayuki impatiently. You. Fujifuayuki looked at Shianayu and didn't know what to say. The man in front of her, just met for the first time, and he directly told her what she had been trying to hide. He even knew her entire past. Such intelligence ability is really too terrible. Even the degree of control over people's hearts is the same. She thought she could escape from here and not go to the snow country. But she didn't expect that everything about her was calculated by Shianayu. Even her escape from Konoha tonight was the same. This is the ninja sent by your uncle to Konoha to gather intelligence. You should recognize the symbol of the snow country ninja, right? Shianayu said, and the Hyuga clan threw down a ninja's body from the dark. The ninja was wearing chakra armor and the forward protector on his head was the symbol of the snow country. This is indeed a ninja from the snow country. Fuji Fengzu who looked at the ninja, her pupils shrank slightly. She wanted to say something, but couldn't. I don't think you are stupid enough to think that these people are just sent by your uncle to protect you. Shianayu sneered. Why is this happening? I have obviously left the snow country, and I have obviously given that position to her. Why is it still like this? I obviously just want to be an ordinary person. Why? Fuji Fengzu who knelt on the ground and burst into tears. This time she was really crying. She couldn't figure out why all this happened. A person who seized power by usurping the throne certainly doesn't want the legitimate heir to come back, because then everyone will know that he became the king by usurping the throne. Since he doesn't want people to know, he must make the legitimate heir disappear from this world, so that his conspiracy will not be leaked. A dead person certainly can't speak. And in front of power, what does family affection count for? Shianayu pointed out this matter directly. Fujifuayuki's heart sank to the bottom. Okay, go back quickly. No matter what, Konoha has accepted the commission and will send you to the snow country safely. Shianayu looked at Fujifuayuki and said. Fujifuayuki slowly stood up. She moved towards the hotel step by step, and she walked very slowly. It seemed that she had lost all her strength. But Shianayu didn't help her, and Naruto didn't either. Just when everyone thought that Fujifuayuki would return to the hotel smoothly, Fujifuayuki suddenly turned around. If I want to change the commission, who should I talk to? Fujifuayuki seemed to have regained her composure. Her voice was no longer trembling, and her eyes were firm. It was as if she had made a decision. And the Hokage, or the ninja who commissioned your mission. However, your agent has already paid the deposit for escorting you back to the snow country. If you insist on canceling, the deposit will not be refunded. Tianyu answered Fujifuayuki. Chapter 228, Kazuma Koyuki's Awakening. I'm not doing this for the deposit. Fuji Fengsu who looked at Shianayu and said, and then seemed to have made a decision. She looked at Shianayu with her dark eyes. I want to ask the ninjas of Konoha to help me. No, I want to ask you to help me take back the snow country. Fuji Fengsu who looked at Shianayu and said firmly. I want to change the previous commission. The commission is no longer just to return to the snow country, but to help me kill Fengji and Nuteo and help me completely take back my country. Fuji Fengsu who, no, it should be Fengji and Xiaoxu, looked at Shianayu and spoke. His words made Shianayu stun for a moment. Shianayu narrowed his eyes. We can't refuse the client's request. Yes, but the price is very expensive, you should know that. Shianayu smiled. I know, don't worry, as long as you can help me take back the snow country, no matter how expensive the amount is, I can afford it. Fuji Fengsu said without hesitation. It seems that what happened tonight has changed her state of mind. It made her go from an actress who constantly wanted to escape to the real crown prince of the snow country. Come to think of it, Feng Jian Nutao's help is not small. Okay. Tianyu nodded. Then he watched Fujifuayuki leave. Brother Tianyu, do you think what she said is true? Naruto looked at Tianyu. then looked at the direction Fujifu left, and asked puzzledly. After all, Fujifu changed her attitude too quickly. It can almost be said to be a seamless switch. Inevitably, this is not a trick she played to avoid going to the snow country. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. Anyway, this is just our commission. The client's mood is not within our consideration. What's more, sometimes, the more cowardly a person is, the greater her contrast will be after being pushed to the extreme. Because that has already violated one's core interests. When it comes to the bottom line, it can no longer be tolerated. Tianyu explained to Naruto with a smile. Fujifu is such a person. She doesn't want to take on the responsibility of a country, so she can leave without any psychological burden after her uncle usurps the throne. She doesn't care about the life and death of the people of this country, nor does she care about those who support her. As long as she lives happily and freely, that's enough. But from the various intelligence she has obtained now, even if she doesn't want to be the queen, she doesn't want to be an enemy of her uncle. But she has become a thorn in her uncle's eyes and a thorn in his flesh. She has to die. In this case, she must solve the troubles in front of her immediately. Then asking for help from the ninjas of Konoha is her best choice. This is not that she has realized the importance of responsibility, realized that she must take on the responsibility of a country, and work hard for the people of her country to bring them a good life. But her life was threatened, and she had to do it. In the final analysis, it's just for herself, selfishness. People like her will always love themselves. Tianyu directly exposed Fujifu's thoughts in her heart. This also shocked Naruto. It turns out that there are such people in this world. Is that so? I thought she really wanted to go back and be a good queen. It seems that I thought too simply. Sure enough, Brother Tianyu is the most powerful. It seems that it will take a long time for me to reach Brother Tianyu's level. Naruto said helplessly. Don't worry, you will become as strong as me in the future, and being a Hokage is actually not difficult. With your intelligence and wisdom, you will definitely become a good Hokage in the future. I believe you. Tianyu said with a smile. After chatting for a few more words, Tianyu sent Naruto home. Then he went back to rest. This night passed quickly. The next morning in the Hokage's office, Tsunade found Tianyu early. This time, Fujifu also appeared in the office with him. Tianyu, early this morning, this Miss Kazuma came to me and wanted to change the commission. She said that you have agreed. Is that right? Tsunade looked at Tianyu and Fujifu with a skeptical attitude. After all, according to Tianyu's attitude towards Fujifu, Tianyu would not agree to such a request. Yes, after what happened last night, I think this Miss Kazuma should also understand that cooperating with Konoha is her only choice. Besides, we can also earn a lot of commission fees. Konoha needs this money when it is officially built. Anyway, this matter is just a piece of cake for me, so I agreed. Tianyu shrugged his shoulders and said indifferently. After all, helping Fujifu to restore the country is really a simple matter. The only thing that Kazuma Nuteo invented is the chakra armor. But the rest is a mess. To be honest, his combat power is not as good as Hatake Kakashi. At least Kakashi still has a bit of Sharingan and Hatake swordsmanship. In the original work, Tsunade was elected as the 6th generation Hokage after she fell into coma, and Kakashi's combat power is naturally needless to say. In the end, he must have reached the level of Kage. So, that person is really very lame. If it takes a hard fight to deal with that Kazuma Raging Wave Tenryu, then when he meets Uchiha Madara and Obito, or even Otsutsuki Kaguya in the future, then just lie down. Okay, since both parties agree, the commission is changed to help Miss Kazuma restore your country and help you become the queen. For this, if you succeed, you have to pay Konoha 400 million taels. The contract is set, no. Add another clause to the contract, Konoha can buy the minerals of the snow country at cost price. Tenryu pointed at the place where Tsunade was riding the commission. Kazuma Koyuki had no objection to this. After Tsunade paused for a moment, she wrote a commission and cast a spell. At this point, the contract was set. Several people had no objection to this contract. Thank you, Mr. Tenryu. Fujifu, who had changed back to her original name. Kazuma Koyuki. She was going to go back to become the queen of the snow country, so naturally she had to take back her own name. You're welcome. Tenryu acted cold and distant. Feng Jian Zhaozu looked at this scene and couldn't help biting her lips. Obviously, This scene made her feel uncomfortable. She was used to being admired by others for her beauty. But now Tianyu treated her like an ordinary person, even worse than an ordinary person, which made her a little difficult to accept. Chapter 229 Departure to the Snow Country. After all, if Fengji and Xiaoxu just ignored Tianyu's performance because of anger before, then now, she is really a little wronged. Tsunade glanced at Fengji and Xiaoxu's expression, as if she understood something. With a sneer, she felt a little uncomfortable in her heart, as if someone was thinking about her beloved things. Mr. Tianyu, can you? Fengji and Xiaoxu was about to say something. She was interrupted by Tsunade. Ms. Fengjian, in view of the change of the commission tasks now, your economic team can no longer follow you to the Snow Country. The Restoration Commission will experience battles. If you bring so many civilians, it will be difficult for us to protect your safety. Tsunade said with a smile, and stood up from the chair and walked between Tianyu and Fengji and Xiaoxu. Blocked Fengji and Xiaoxu's gaze towards Tianyu. Okay, when restoring the country, I don't want to involve the agent. Fengji and Xiaoxu nodded and agreed. However, Fengji and Xiaoxu seemed to have noticed Tsunade's faint hostility towards him. She didn't say much? In that case, let's leave early, and we can solve the problem of Snow Country earlier and come back. Tianyu nodded and walked out of the office. Fengji and Xiaoxu nodded to Tsunade and followed her out. At the entrance of Konoha village, Naruto was waiting for Tianyu here. It seemed that he was a little bored waiting. Naruto was squatting on the ground, drawing pictures on the ground with stones. Tianyu walked over quietly and saw that Naruto had drawn two little people on the ground. The two little people seemed to be fighting. One of them was rolling a ball in his hand, while the other was releasing lightning in his hand. It was clear at a glance that Naruto was drawing him and Sasuke. I didn't expect Naruto to be a soul painter. He grasped the essence of painting so quickly. Naruto, what are you doing? Tianyu asked Naruto with a smile. Brother Tianyu, nothing. Naruto waved his hands hurriedly, and at the same time used his body to hide the painting on the ground. Tianyu saw this scene, but didn't expose it. Let's go. It takes 3 days to get to the Snow Country. We have to hurry. Yes. Naruto nodded vigorously, and then followed Tianyu. After walking a few steps, Tianyu glanced at Naruto, and then pretended to be nonchalant and said, I went to Orochimaru before and gave him a sample of the Jeller Stone. It can be seen that Orochimaru attaches great importance to Sasuke and treats him very well. You don't have to worry. Hearing this, Naruto's face flushed red. Brother Tianyu, I don't care about Sasuke. That guy. Naruto talked for a long time, but he couldn't speak. Okay, don't say it, Sasuke is fine, and Orochimaru also said that when Sasuke returns from his studies, he wants to compete with you to see who is stronger between the two of you, so don't lose to Sasuke at that time. Tianyu said with a smile. I won't, I have good, Sessonrin taught me the Rasengan, and brother Tianyu, you help me make a training plan, I won't lose to Sasuke. Naruto heard this, as if he was inspired, and said seriously. Well, I believe you. Naruto smiled. Several people walked through the forest. After walking for a day, they finally arrived at the border of the Land of Fire. After leaving here and walking north, they can reach a port on the road. From there, they can take a boat for 2 days to reach the Land of Snow. There was no conversation along the way. Take a rest. A day passed quickly, and after the sunset, Tianyu found a clearing in the forest. After arranging for everyone to rest, Tianyu took out the rice balls and handed them to Naruto and Kazuma Koyuki. These rice balls were made for him by Tiantian and Hinata, and they tasted very good. I know that every time I go on a mission with brother Tianyu, I will never be hungry, unlike other times when I go out with teacher Kakashi and Sakura, they always eat Binglian pills. Although the thing makes me not hungry, it tastes really bad. Naruto couldn't help but complain. Okay, what are you complaining about? The function of Binglian pills is to quickly eliminate hunger. Of course, they won't taste good, but that thing is very convenient, and it is much easier to carry than rice balls. Tianyu couldn't help but say. Yes, I know this. It's because of this that I say it's best to go out with brother Tianyu, because I can eat delicious rice balls every time. By the way, Princess Fengjian, what is the Snow Country like? Naruto asked while eating rice balls and looking at Fengji and Xiaoxu. Naruto has never been to the snow country and is very curious about it. There, the snow country, my hometown has snow and ice that never melts all year round. There's a huge glacier there. It is rumored that in spring, when the sun shines on the glacier, colorful light will appear. At that time, colorful ore can be mined. This ore can help the snow country forge the strongest weapons, and it can also bring hope to the snow country. Fengjin Zayaksa recalled the things in the snow country. It has only been 3 years since she left the snow country and became Fuji Fengsohu. But in these 3 years, the name Fengjin Zayaksa seemed to have become something that happened in her previous life. Now when she recalls the things in the snow country, she still feels a little bit like a lifetime ago. Colorful ore? Isn't it beautiful? Can it be used to make the strongest weapon? Is it more powerful than the ninja tools forged by brother Tianyu? Naruto heard this, his eyes sparkled. After all, the effects of the ninja tools forged by Tianyu are not ordinary, and they can often play a miraculous role on the battlefield. I don't know how many problems the ninjas of Konoha have overcome with these ninja tools. So when Naruto thought of ore, he thought of Tianyu's ninja tools. I don't know. Hearing Naruto's words, Fengjin Zayaksa shook her head. I don't know how powerful the weapons forged with the 7-color ore are, because no one can mine the 7-color ore. The country of snow has heavy snow all year round, and the snow has never melted. The ice has never disappeared. There is no spring in the country of snow, so naturally there is no way to see the 7-color ice wall. Fengjin Zayaksa smiled bitterly. It doesn't matter. As long as you believe, you will see it sooner or later, and I believe that day will come soon. Naruto smiled, he was still so optimistic. But Naruto didn't understand it now. If the country of snow still maintains such a miserable situation, the 7-color ice wall will never appear, and the spring of the country of snow will never come. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 230, Attack on the Ship. Maybe. Fengjin Zayaksu glanced at Naruto. Then she lowered her head. In her memory, there was some white snow in the snow country that never melted all year round. The white snow was like a heavy burden piling up in her heart. Later, when her father died, the pressure directly exploded. She finally couldn't bear it and passively fled here. But now it seems that her escape is useless. She still has to go back to the snow country to face her uncle. Tianyu looked at Fengjin Zayaksu. No words. After eating the rice balls, everyone prepared to rest. Tianyu glanced behind him and said nothing. At noon the next day, they finally arrived at the ferry. There happened to be a boat here. There was basically only one boat going to the snow country every week. Fortunately, they caught up in time. After getting on the boat, the boatman did not talk to them, but drove the boat away directly. Zayaksu didn't sleep well in the room last night, so she went to the cabin to catch up on sleep, and Naruto followed her to protect her safety. As for Tianyu, he stood on the deck and looked into the distance. As we got farther and farther away from the shore, mist gradually appeared on the boundless sea. The sight was blocked, and people could not see far away. Boatman, how long will it take us to get to the snow country now? Tianyu stood on the deck and asked the boatman who was rowing silently. If everything goes smoothly and there is no wind or waves on the sea, we will arrive at this time tomorrow, but if there is wind and waves at night, we will need to dock on a small island above and cannot travel at night. In this case, when we arrive at the snow country, it will be the morning of the 3rd day. The boatman answered. Although the snow country is a beautiful place, it is too cold and not suitable for traveling there. Besides, you 3 are ninjas, right? Do you have any mission to go to the snow country? The boatman looked at Tianyu and asked. I don't think it would be a good thing for a boatman to know our mission. Just do your thing with peace of mind. Tianyu glanced at the boatman and said lightly. Okay, guest. The boatman smiled with his head down when he heard this. Then he stopped talking and continued rowing. The fog on the sea surface was getting thicker and thicker. The boatman lit a lamp and hung it on the bow to illuminate the road around. At this moment, the sky had completely darkened. The fog around him was even darker. Tianyu stood on the deck for a day, and the tail behind them was still following them, never disappearing. At night, Tianyu turned around to enter the cabin. The next moment, something unexpected happened. The boatman took action directly, and the kunai and shuriken attacked Tianyu as if they were free. Water escape, water dragon bullet. Water escape, water whip. At the same time, two ninjutsu also attacked Tianyu directly. A huge water dragon rose from the sea and rushed towards Tianyu, while the water on the other side turned into a long whip and also whipped Tianyu. The two attacks blocked all the ways for Tianyu to dodge. It can be said that among these three attacks, Tianyu will definitely be hit by one. Bang! The water dragon missed, and the kunai and shuriken also made a sound of nailing on wood. And the water whip has wrapped Tianyu's body. It worked. The corner of the ninja's mouth curled up, but before he could be happy, he saw the water flow that wrapped around Tianyu dissipate directly. A puff of smoke appeared. Looking at Tianyu at the original place, he had already disappeared. Substitution technique. No, behind. After seeing the white smoke, the ninja realized that he had already fallen into Tianyu's trap. What they called the perfect attack time was completely within Tianyu's calculation. And the next moment, the sound of breaking wind came from behind him, making him look back. Ling. The sound of kunai colliding was heard. Rasengan. The next moment, Naruto ran out of the cabin directly. In his hand, the dark blue rotating chakra light ball turned instantly and hit the ninja, who was caught off guard. Boom. The ninja was hit and fell off the boat and into the sea. After this blow, there was still bright red blood on the boat and the sea. Obviously, Naruto's blow just now had directly injured the ninja. Now he fell into the sea, and if he didn't die, he would be seriously injured. At least for a short time, he was no longer able to fight. Almost in an instant, Tianyu and Naruto cooperated and let them deal with an opponent. Come on. After knocking the man down, Naruto stood at the door of the cabin, blocking the only way to the cabin. Inside, Fengji and Zayaksu had heard the noise outside, but she was now standing in front of the door. She was holding a kunai in her hand and was on full alert. If it wasn't Tianyu or Naruto who rushed in, she would immediately die with the enemy. Fortunately, the noise outside stopped after a while. But no one came in, and Fengji and Zayaksu didn't dare to go out casually. She could only grit her teeth and wait. Naruto, good job. Tianyu stood on the top of the ship and saw everything that happened just now. After watching Naruto deal with the ninja, Tianyu jumped down from the top of the ship and stood in front of Naruto. You have followed us all the way. Since you dared to take action just now, come out and let me see your true face. Tianyu sneered. Huh? Konoha's ninjas are really sharp. The thick fog dissipated, and three ninjas appeared in front of Tianyu and the others. The three ninjas were all wearing heavy chakra armor and forward protectors from the snow country. The people in front of them were two men and one woman. It seemed that the people who attacked them, including the boatman who was just killed by Naruto, should be four people. The thick fog around here is really your fault. Tianyu did not answer them, but looked at the fog that was gradually dissipating around him, and said coldly. After all, in this season, even if there is fog on the sea, it will not be foggy at noon, and it will not cover the surroundings, and even the route cannot be seen. Similarly, boatmen will not sail in the fog. After all, no matter how good your sense of direction is, you will inevitably get lost in the fog. And the consequence of getting lost is getting lost in the vast ocean. Death, or dying painfully in despair. Humph, brother Tianyu has already noticed you. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame your camouflage skills. They are really too poor. Even I can recognize you. Who else are you trying to fool? It's just that we were within the borders of the fire country before, so it was difficult to attack you. We originally planned to wait until we reached the snow country to get rid of you once and for all, but we didn't expect you to attack us on the ship. After we completely get rid of you, the rest of the journey should be safer. Chapter 231 True Ice Escape. Naruto looked at the three ninjas and said with a smile. If we want to solve it, we have to see if you have the ability to do it. I have seen Hatake Kakashi use the move you just used. He said it was his teacher's unique skill, so you should also be his disciple. The leading man looked at Naruto and grinned. Naruto subconsciously sensed the ill intentions in the leading man's words. Do you know Kakashi, teacher? More than knowing him, this scar on your body is given by him. But this time he didn't follow us. It's really lucky for him, otherwise, this sea would have become his burial place. Langaya Avalanche looked at Naruto and said sternly. 10 years ago, on the small island in the sea area, he and Hatake Kakashi fought. But at that time, Hatake Kakashi was not his opponent at all and was defeated by him. However, at that time, he was too careless and did not see Hatake Kakashi's Sharingan hidden under the Konoha Ford protector. He was seriously injured by his kunai and fled. But now, if he meets Hatake Kakashi again, he will use the most vicious means to torture Hatake Kakashi to death bit by bit. To avenge his blood feud. Bah, stop talking big, you still want to defeat Kakashi, teacher. I think you are a joke, and you dare to laugh at brother Tianyu. You really don't know how to write the word death. Then I can tell you the truth today that this sea is also your burial place, and you will die particularly ugly. Naruto heard this. He couldn't help laughing. Because he found that the man in front of him was so ordinary, but what he said was so confident. Who gave him the courage to speak to brother Tianyu like this? Could it be the woman named Jingur that brother Tianyu has been talking about all the time? It's ridiculous. Don't interfere. Let me deal with him. I'll deal with Kakashi's disciples first, and then it will be his turn next. Langaya Avalanche stopped the remaining two people from joining him in the fight, and said with gritted teeth. After hearing this, his two companions really stopped their actions. After all, Naruto in front of him was just a child. If Langaya Avalanche couldn't even beat a child, it would be too bad. Besides, the two of them could also keep an eye on the other person. Ice Escape, One-Horned White Whale. Langaya Avalanche was furious when he heard Naruto's words. He formed seals with his hands, and suddenly a huge ice white whale appeared in front of everyone on the sea, and then smashed towards Naruto fiercely. The white whale was extremely huge. If it was hit, the ship they were on would probably be shattered in an instant. At that time, they would inevitably fall into the water on the ship. In that case, it would be their home court. Rasengan Naruto looked at this scene, gritting his teeth. Blue chakra continued to gather in his hands. It was obvious that Naruto wanted to continue to cast the Rasengan. Don't force yourself, leave it to me next, you go and protect Fangji and Zyuxu. Tianyu originally wanted Naruto to experience some experience, after all, only in battle can he become stronger. But the enemy at the moment is not something Naruto can deal with. Yes. Hearing Tianyu's words, Naruto dispersed the chakra in his hand without hesitation, and then ran back to the cabin. Oh, you want to be a hero yourself? Very good, then I want to see how powerful you are. Langaya Avalanche laughed. Then he commanded the white whale to smash down directly. Vacuum multi-layer ice wall. Tianyu held the ice ring pill tightly. With a wave of his hands, the ice ring pill formed a series of tough ice walls in the air. As the huge white whale hit the ice wall, there was a booming sound. The next moment, Tianyu's body broke through the ice directly. You actually like playing with ice so much? Then I'll show you what real freezing is. Dragon shot. Hai Orochimaru swung, and the tip of the knife instantly collided with Langaya Avalanche's body. Almost in an instant, the violent cold air directly wrapped Langaya Avalanche's body. Ah, what is this? Langaya Avalanche, not knowing the situation, felt that his body had been wrapped in ice. When he wanted to struggle, his whole body was already covered in ice. Seeing this situation, he desperately urged the chakra armor on his body. The chakra armor on his body was also constantly releasing power, trying to melt the ice in front of him. But all this was in vain. Break. Tianyu landed. As Tianyu landed, the ice that wrapped Langaya Avalanche also broke into pieces. At the same time, Langaya Avalanche's body was also broken into pieces like the ice. These ice pieces fell into the sea on the ship. There were also pieces of Langaya Avalanche's body mixed in. But there was no blood, because at the moment when Langaya Avalanche's body was broken, everything in his body had turned into ice. Even the blood was frozen. This scene also stimulated the other two people. They didn't expect that with just one move, the boy in front of them could directly solve Langaya Avalanche. This boy's strength must have reached the level of Cage. Damn it, who gave the information? They said that the person escorting Fangji and Zyuxu was only at the level of Jinin, and they should have come in person. The remaining two people have already had the intention to retreat. After all, even Langaya Avalanche died, and the two of them couldn't beat Langaya Avalanche, so they were naturally not Tianyu's opponents. Looking at the remaining two people, Tianyu put away the ice ring pill. The current strength of these two people is only Chunin, and Tianyu can defeat them without making any moves. If he still uses the ice ring pill, it would be too much of a face for them. Why do you still want to try? Tianyu looked at them and smiled. Retreat. The two people saw Tianyu's expression and their faces changed drastically. Then he threw a smoke bomb and fled under the cover of smoke. Want to run? Where to run? Tianyu sneered. Flying Thunder God Slash. Tianyu held a kunai in his hand, and the next moment his body had caught up with the ninja who was about to escape. As the kunai was swung, blood scattered. The ninja only felt his body lighten. Then his head fell heavily into the sea. At the moment of sinking into the sea, the last scene the ninja saw was the scene of his body falling heavily on the sea. It seems that Tianyu's attack directly separated his head from his body. Chapter 232 I Need a Hug. The escaping female ninja looked back and saw the miserable state of her companions. She was stunned for a moment, and then she fled even more desperately. She no longer dared to look back, because she was afraid that the next moment she would see the deadly knife light. But she was lucky that Tianyu did not intend to kill her. He just looked at his back and let him go. They returned to the ship and walked into the cabin. At this moment, Fengjian Zyaksu was sitting on the bed with a kunai in her hand, and Naruto beside her was comforting her. Obviously, although Fengjian Zyaksu did not fight just now. But the scene just now also made her feel frightened, and even restored her long-lost memory. She will never forget that cold winter day. She woke up from her sleep, and there were flames everywhere around her. She was very scared and wanted to get her father's protection. It was not easy to find her father's palace. After entering, she saw her father lying in a pool of blood. In front of his father, his uncle Fengjian Nuteo was standing there with a long sword in his hand. There was still blood dripping on the long sword, and that blood was his father's. Since that night, that scene has become her nightmare. It tortures her heart all the time. And now she can finally forget the memory of that night and have a good sleep. So this is why Fengjian Zyaksu doesn't want to return to the snow country. It's really too much to let her face the nightmare of the past. And she has always believed that as long as she doesn't go back, she can pretend that nothing has happened. She is just a daughter who is not liked by her father. Her mother is not dead, and her father is not dead. She is just a daughter who is not loved by her parents, and an ordinary person who lives alone outside. But now, she can no longer deceive herself. Because all the memories are back. Brother Tianyu, sister Zyaksu seems to be a little sad. Naruto said with some reluctance when he saw Tianyu coming over. Because Naruto experienced a series of things when he was young, he could feel the pain of Fengjian Zyaksu. At the same time, he couldn't help feeling sad for her. It is inevitable that she will feel sad, but she has to get out of this by herself. We can't help her. Tianyu still said calmly. This is not because he is indifferent, but because this is the way it is. The comfort of others is just a drop in the bucket for people in pain. If you want to get out of pain, you have to rely on yourself. Let's go out first, let her be alone here for a while. Tianyu said and was about to pull Naruto out of the cabin. Tianyu, can you hug me? But before Tianyu could walk out, Fengjian Zyaksu had already spoken. What did you say? Tianyu was stunned for a moment. Tianyu, go quickly, don't worry, I won't tell Tiantian Hinata and Tsunade about this. Naruto also smiled wickedly when he heard this, pushed Tianyu in front of Fengjian Zyaksu, and then turned and ran out of the cabin. Tianyu was a little surprised to hear Naruto's words. But before he could say anything, the door of the cabin was directly closed. Now, unless Tianyu can remove the door of the cabin, he will have to stay here today. But, isn't it too early for a 13-year-old boy like him? Just when Tianyu was thinking about it, Fengjian Zyaksu came over and hugged Tianyu directly. That? Tianyu didn't know where to put his nervous hands. After all, his previous impression of Fengjian Zyaksu was just a willful and capricious princess with princess syndrome. He hated such a woman the most. If it weren't for this mission, Tianyu would never walk with Fengjian Zyaksu in his life. Not to mention hugging her. But now, Fengjian Zyaksu really needs comfort, and Tianyu can't do too much. So, Tianyu had to hug Fengjian Zyaksu. It's okay, those things are over, and I have killed those ninjas who chased you. There's only one left. Let him go back and tell your uncle a message, wash your neck and wait well. After we go to the snow country, it will be his death. By then, you can be the queen again and avenge your father. Tianyu said dry words to comfort Fengjian Zyaksu. Such comfort is nothing. But Fengjian Zyaksu is very satisfied, because this is Tianyu. He is the only one who is not moved by her, and the only one who tells the truth. Thank you, I am much better. Feng Jian's Xiaoxia slowly left Xianyu's arms. She lowered her head and blushed. Well, it's good to feel better. This way I can rest assured. Xianyu looked at Feng Jian's Xiaoxia and said, Are you just concerned about me for the mission? Feng Jian's Xiaoxia looked at Tianyu, and finally she couldn't help asking this question. Well, you are the client of my mission, and the commission fee this time is 400 million. After getting this money, it is enough to build a village. Tianyu also understood that Feng Jian's Xiaoxia seemed to be a little different to him. But Tianyu did not respond. After all, after the Snow Country mission this time is over, there will be no intersection between them. Naturally, there is no need to develop any other feelings. Oh. Feng Jian's Xiaoxia seemed a little disappointed. You take a rest, I'll go out first. After saying this, Tianyu turned around and left the cabin. On the deck, Naruto was sitting on the ground and taking a nap. Tianyu saw this scene and walked over, took out a blanket from the space and put it on Naruto. Ah, Tianyu brother, you are out. How is Sister Xiaoxia's mood? Naruto couldn't help asking. Better, she is resting now, it's better not to disturb her. Tianyu also sat next to Naruto. Well, that's good. To be honest, I can also feel the sadness of Sister Xiaoxia. It's really uncomfortable. She can feel better now, and I am also very happy. Naruto said with a smile. You always say that you can empathize with others. It's very tiring to empathize with others. Tianyu heard what Naruto said and smiled helplessly. I know, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this, because I can feel other people's joys and sorrows. Father said that the world will eventually usher in true peace. If everyone can understand each other more, can peace truly come? If that's the case, I'm willing to give it a try. Naruto thought of his father and couldn't help but say. Chapter 233 Arrival at the Snow Country. Well, let's go down that road. Tianyu rubbed Naruto's head again. It felt really good. But Tianyu wanted to rub the head of the Nine-Tails more, to try whether the fox's touch was better. Brother Tianyu, I have another question for you. After a while, Naruto suddenly looked at Tianyu and asked. Well, you say. Well, the boatman has been killed by us, and those ninjas have been let go. How can we go to the Snow Country? Naruto asked with his big eyes blinking. After all, the boat at the moment is not an electric system, but needs people to slide. Well. Tianyu smiled. Then Naruto felt as if something bad was targeting him. At noon on the second day, the three people got off the boat together, but at this time, Naruto fell asleep on Tianyu's back. After all, rowing a boat with dozens of shadow clones together is indeed too physically demanding. How long will it take to reach the capital of the Snow Country? Tianyu frowned as he looked at the snow that never melted. If we go further, we will reach the capital of the Snow Country in about a day. Although I have not been back to the Snow Country in the past few years, I also know that the Snow Country built a fortress under the leadership of Feng Jian. There are many ninjas stationed in the fortress, and there are also many defensive weapons. If we must go in, the fortress will stop us. Feng Jianzhaozu looked at Tianyu and answered. Fortress? That's not a problem. Let's go. Tianyu did not take the fortress seriously. After all, no matter what kind of fortress it is, it will have weaknesses. At the same time, in the capital of the Snow Country, the fortress, Fubuki was kneeling in front of Feng Jian. Fubuki was really the only female ninja who escaped from Tianyu's hands. Are you saying that Langai Azubeng, Dongshan Frozen Rain, and others are dead? Feng Jian looked at Fubuki and said. Yes, they are all dead, killed by Konoha ninjas, and my subordinates managed to escape back at the cost of their lives. Fubuki didn't want to recall what happened before. It seemed that in an instant, her companions died in the most cruel way. Thinking about that scene now is enough to become her nightmare for life. Useless things, I asked you to bring Feng Jianzhaozu back to me, not only did you fail to do it, but also 3 companions died, it's ridiculous. Feng Jian laughed angrily when he heard this. But sir, that Konoha ninja is really very powerful. His strength has long surpassed the level of Cage. We can't deal with him, and even the chakra armor has no effect on him. We have tried our best. Fubuki couldn't help but defend himself. After all, it's not that they didn't work hard, but that the opponent was too strong. They are not at the same level at all, so how can they fight? That Konoha ninja Tianyu didn't need to use all his strength to fight them. Just one move killed the three of them. But if the three of them want to deal with Tianyu, they have to exert all their strength. And if she is not careful, Tianyu will seize the opportunity to kill her. The difference is like heaven and earth. Try your best. You are just looking for excuses for your failure. I don't want to listen to your excuses. I want to see the result. Well, I will give you another chance. This time I want you to bring me the hexagonalized crystal on Fengjian Xiaoxu's chest. If you still fail this time, don't blame me for being rude to you. Fengjian Nuteo said sternly. Yes, sir. When Fubuki heard this, she felt bitter. Letting her deal with those people in Konoha alone is simply asking her to die. But if she doesn't agree, Fengjian Nuteo in front of her will execute her in the next moment. So she can only take one step at a time. The hexagonalized crystal on your chest should be the relic left by your father. Tianyu suddenly remembered that in the original book, this hexagonalized crystal can open the rainbow ice wall. And the rainbow ice wall not only has very good minerals, but also can restore spring to the snow country. For the snow country, it is very important. Well, this is the last thing my father left me, and I have kept it very well. Fengjian Xiaoxu held the hexagonalized crystal in her hand and couldn't help but recall the happy look when she was with her father. Then keep it well, maybe it will play a big role later. Tianyu said casually. The three of them continued on their way. When they were about to reach the capital of the snow country, it was completely dark. The three of them had to set up camp on the spot to rest. After the tent was set up, Naruto fell asleep directly. Even after resting for a whole day, his physical strength still did not recover. Fortunately, Naruto still had the chakra of the nine tails in his body, so Naruto was just a little tired. Outside, the cold wind whistled past. Tianyu was eating hot ramen. This ramen was bought by Tianyu at Ichiriko Ramen before he left, and he threw it into the space after buying it. Now it is still freshly made. In the icy and snowy environment, being able to eat such a bowl of hot ramen is really an ultimate enjoyment. And Fengjian Xiaoxu looked at Tianyu and smiled. What's wrong? Nothing. Fengjian Xiaoxu waved her hands hurriedly. I just think that you can take out these things at any time, which surprises me. Fengjian Xiaoxu said with a smile. After all, the rice ball before can be said to be packed in the ninja tool bag, but the ramen now can't be explained clearly. Oh, this is the ninja tool I forged. It contains an independent small space that can be used to store items. When you go out, you can carry such a thing on your back and go into battle lightly. Tianyu explained with a smile. Well, if that's the case, then this thing is really useful, but you just said that this thing is a ninja tool, which means I can buy it in Konoha, right? Fengjian Xiaoxu asked in surprise. After all, time and space ninjutsu has always been the highest secret in the ninja world. Except for a few big guys who can learn, others don't even have the qualifications to know. Not to mention using space-time ninjutsu on ninja tools. That's about right. Tianyu didn't want to explain to Fengjian Xiaoxu what an independent small space was. Anyway, it was similar to space-time ninjutsu, both connected in independent space. She could understand it however she wanted. Chapter 234 Arrival at the Fortress. This is a place close to the capital of the snow country. It should be a prosperous town. But because the current daimyo of the snow country, Fengjian Nuteo, hired ninjas to build a fortress, no villager dared to live here. They were all afraid of being injured by the weapons in the fortress. So they moved to places far away from the capital. Those places were very desolate, which also led to the low income of the people in the snow country. When Fengjian Xiaoxu's father, Fengjian Xiaoxu, was still there, the snow country also introduced a lot of tourists because of the rainbow ice wall. But now the rainbow ice wall has disappeared, and some places have become desolate. Without anyone to take care of it, naturally there are no tourists coming. The income of people here has also dropped sharply. In addition, the various policies implemented by Fengjian Nuteo. It also makes these people in the snow country dare not speak out. They are all looking forward to Fengjian Xiaoxu returning to the snow country and taking control of the country. In this way, they can also live a good life. Otherwise, the snow country will sooner or later become the blood country. There was no speech overnight. The next morning, they packed up their tents and headed for the capital again. But this time, They encountered a reconnaissance team sent by Fengji and Nuteo. In the vast snowfield, only Tianyu and the other three were wearing black robes. Naturally, they became the targets of others' reconnaissance. But because of what Fubuki said before, these people did not dare to attack Tianyu. After all, even Langai Azubeng and Dongshan Frozen Rain more did. Then they were just delivering food to Tianyu. So these people wanted to find out Tianyu's actions and then make the next report. It's just a pity that these people may have stayed in the snow country and never been outside. They became a little arrogant, or they thought that the 5 major countries outside. Now their strength is about the same as that of the snow country. They seriously underestimated the strength of Konoha ninjas. Brother Tianyu, are those ninjas who came to investigate real? Naruto couldn't help asking. When asking, Naruto's expression was a little strange. After all, the actions of these people were too weird. Naruto rested for a night and became energetic again. Of course, didn't you see that they all wore forehead protectors? They are indeed the capital city guard ninjas of the snow country. Tianyu said with a smile. If that's the case, then their reconnaissance is really too poor. When they approached us, I had already noticed it. To be honest, if it was in Konoha, such a level would be judged as failing by teacher Iruka. Naruto couldn't help but complain. Who knows, maybe failing is their normal state. Well, don't think about it, let's go quickly. Tianyu smiled. To be honest, the strength of this exploration team is pitifully weak. In Tianyu's eyes, they are no different from ordinary people. If you really want to kill them, it's really a bit cheap. However, you can't let them follow behind. Otherwise, if the news gets out, he can't even deal with a few people following him. That's not good. The 3 of them continued on their way, just a few hundred meters, and completely left those scouts behind. The reconnaissance ninjas were stunned when they saw that they were thrown away. It seems that they have discovered us. Hurry back to the fortress and report to the daimyo. These ninjas did not hesitate. After the tracking failed, they returned to the fortress one by one. Tianyu and his friends finally came to a forest near the capital. Looking at the huge fortress. On the snowy plain, this black steel giant is extremely conspicuous. It is located in the most conspicuous place. Behind this fortress is the real capital of the snow country, Fengsu City. It seems that if you want to get to Fengsu City, you have to break through the fortress in front of you. There are 2 ways to deal with this fortress. The first is to crush it with strength openly. It can be said that Tianyu definitely has this power now. This is the snow country. Once the higher Rinru appears, these people are no match. But the only fear is that the enemy will detonate Fengsu City when they are desperate. In this way, even if they can destroy the enemy, the snow country will suffer huge economic losses. Maybe they can't pay the commission fee this time. So this option is directly passed. Then there is only the second option. It is to sneak into this steel fortress directly and kill all the defenders inside. Then capture Fengji and Nuteo and let Fengji and Zayaksu deal with it. In this way, not only can Fengsu City be preserved, but the steel fortress can also be preserved intact. It is the most economical plan. The only point is that he must go alone to implement this plan. Then Fengji and Zayaksu must be protected by Naruto. This is what makes Tianyu a little worried. After all, Naruto is just a Jonin. If Fengji and Zayaksu has any accidents, it will affect the reputation of Konoha. Brother Tianyu, you can go with peace of mind. Believe me, I can definitely protect Sister Zayaksu. Don't forget that I am the child of a hero, and Brother Tianyu has guided me in my training before. Naruto seemed to see Tianyu's concerns and spoke directly. Naruto clenched his fist and placed it on his heart, as if to assure Tianyu that he would be able to protect Fengji and Zayaksu. Okay, I believe you. Princess Fengjian, you will stay with Naruto for the next period of time. Please remember to listen to Naruto, don't run around, stay hidden, and wait for me to come back. Tianyu glanced at Fengji and Zayaksu. After a series of events on the ship, Tianyu's attitude towards Fengji and Zayaksu has improved a lot. At least it's not like treating a stranger anymore, and he has begun to be a little gentle. Well, I will follow Naruto well, and I hope you can come back safely. Fengji and Zayaksu said with her lips bitten. Well. Tianyu nodded. Then he didn't say anything more, and his figure flashed, and disappeared in a few jumps. Fengji and Zayaksu looked at the direction where Tianyu left, and couldn't come back to his senses for a long time. Sister Zayaksu, Let's leave here quickly and find a safe place to stay. This place is a bit too exposed and they will find us. Naruto looked around. There was no trace of ninjas here for the time being, but if they got too close to the fortress, they would definitely find us. Okay. Fengjin Zaiaksu reluctantly withdrew her gaze. Then he left here with Naruto. Chapter 235 Release the Rebels. Tianyu flipped in from the ventilation hole of the fortress. The interior of the fortress was built just like a real fortress. There were checkpoints everywhere. It looked very tight, but Tianyu could not get through them. He avoided the patrolling ninjas with a few flips. The first place Tianyu came to was the bottom floor of this fortress. This is the bottom floor of the fortress. It is also the prison of the Snow Country. If he remembered correctly, there should be many former guards of the Snow Country imprisoned here. These guards belonged to Fengjin Zaoyuki. After Fengjin Nuteo usurped the throne, he always wanted to restore the Snow Country. It's just a pity that their strength is not as strong as the ninjas of the Snow Country. So the final outcome was that they were caught and imprisoned one by one. The first thing Tianyu had to do was to release them all. After all, in this way, he and Fengjin Zaoyuki could collect more commissions. The security measures in the prison were very strict. There were guards in front of almost every cell door. But when these people faced Tianyu, none of them looked good enough. Catcha! A subtle sound rang out. The guard seemed to have heard some unusual sounds. He was a little confused and wanted to turn his head to see what the sound was. But the next moment he saw the scene of his head and body being separated. The guard opened his mouth and wanted to shout. But he couldn't say a word and fell to the ground. The blood that should have burst out was completely frozen by the power of the ice ring pill. The guard fell in front of the prison. What's going on? The rebels who were originally imprisoned in the prison looked at this scene and didn't understand what happened. The cell door was opened. Come out, go quickly, don't stay. Tianyu only said this to the people inside and ran to the next cell door. After all the guards were dealt with, the imprisoned rebels came out one by one. Then they saw that except for the first guard who was beheaded, the other guards were frozen into ice sculptures. This attack happened silently. When people just reacted, everything was over. What's going on? A leader who seemed to be the leader of the rebels looked at Tianyu with some confusion and asked. The princess of the Snow Country, Fengjin Zaoyuki, has returned. She entrusted the ninjas of Konoha to help her with the task of restoring her country. I am the ninja who helped her complete the task of restoring her country. Since you were once the subordinates of the Snow Country daimyo, Fengjin Zaoyuki, I rescued you, and you can work together inside and outside to defeat Fengjin Nuteo and take back the Snow Country. Tianyu explained the whole story. This also made the rebels in the prison very excited. Great, Princess Zaoyuki is back. Yes, I knew that Princess Zaoyuki would definitely come back. The Snow Country is saved, the Snow Country is saved. These rebels were all excited after hearing Tianyu's words. After all, Fengjin Nuteo's behavior was really hated by heaven and people. Everyone wanted to kill him. Now that Fengjin Zaoyuki is back, they believe that Fengjin Zaoyuki will definitely bring the long-lost spring to the Snow Country. You leave here first, I'll go find Fengjin Nuteo, bye. Tianyu said this and left directly. After Tianyu left, the rebels once again picked up the weapons left by the guards. They began to kill the other people in the fortress. Soon, the shouts of killing filled the entire fortress. The guards in the fortress began to gather under the prison, trying to suppress the rebels again. This also made the guards on the upper part of the fortress much more empty. This also allowed Tianyu to successfully reach the inside of the fortress. After dealing with many enemies blocking the way, Tianyu successfully came to the outside of Fengjin Nuteo's room. Waste. Fengjin Nuteo slapped Fubuki hard. You are all waste. People have sneaked into the fortress, but no trace of people has been found. Since you are all waste, what's the point of me keeping you? Fengjin Nuteo was a little flustered. After all, a ninja who can kill Langaya Avalanche is not easy to deal with. If he is allowed to come up, he may be able to attack him quietly. But fortunately, the fortress is now in chaos. So the possibility of him sneaking in has disappeared. Yes, we did not see his actions. This is indeed a mistake. I will make up for it with my actions next, please rest assured, sir. Fubuki didn't dare to say anything more after being beaten. After all, Kazuma Nuteo is a noble, and these ninjas are employed by these nobles. Then Kazuma no Teo is her master. She will never betray her master. Why don't you go and find him back quickly? Kazuma no Teo shouted angrily. Yes. Fubuki was about to leave, but the door of the next room was pushed open. No need to look for him, I'll deliver myself to the door. Tianyu looked at Kazuma no Teo and sneered. But when Tianyu saw the real Kazuma no Teo, he was stunned for a moment. To be honest, Kazuma Zayaksu is really beautiful, a great beauty. And in the family photo that Kazuma Zayaksu showed him, his mother is also a beauty, and his father looks good too. Such a family is enough to give birth to a beauty like Kazuma Zayaksu. But this Fangjin no Teo looks a bit sorry. He looks so weird and disgusting. It seems that this Fangjin no Teo is not his biological son. He was picked up. Fubuki, catch him. Fangjin no Teo frowned and said angrily when he saw this scene. Yes, Fubuki hurriedly stood in front of Fangjin no Teo. Oh, you are quite courageous. After seeing me kill your 3 companions, you dare to stand in front of me. Tianyu saw Fubuki's behavior and smiled. As long as I am here, I will never let you hurt Master Fangjin. Fubuki said this firmly and no longer hesitated. Holding the ninja tool in his hand, he rushed directly towards Tianyu. Ice escape, swallow flying snow. A large amount of ice and snow sprayed out from the ninja tool in Fubuki's hand. Then these ice and snow turned into ice and snow swallows one after another in the air. The feathers of these ice and snow swallows are very sharp. Just like one shuriken after another. If caught up by the ice and snow swallows, that person would be instantly cut into pieces by these ice and snow swallows. Looking at these swallows, Tianyu dodged the attacks. Chapter 236, Villains Love to Brag. Ice Escape, 4 Pillars. Fubuki once again formed seals with both hands, and then used the 4 pillars. Suddenly, ice pillars appeared one after another on the ground, chasing the place where Tianyu landed. The speed of these ice pillars was extremely fast. If caught, Tianyu would be immediately sealed in ice. However, these ninjutsu had no effect on Tianyu. It can even be said that Tianyu's current dodging was just playing with Fubuki. He seemed so leisurely, as if he was not in the enemy's fortress, but walking in his own back garden. Ice escape, ice spikes. Fubuki's 2 consecutive ninjutsu had completely failed. She seemed a little anxious. Then, as if she had made up her mind, she formed seals with both hands again. Suddenly, countless ice spikes appeared on the ground again. Once these ice spikes appeared, they spread throughout the room. Except for the place where Fangjin Lutao and Fubuki were standing, other places were full of ice spikes. Unless Tianyu could fly. Otherwise, he would definitely be pierced to death by the ice spikes. Humph, unless you can fly, I want to see how you can do it this time. This is impossible. Fubuki looked at the scene in front of her and couldn't help but say. Because in front of her, Tianyu had a pair of huge blue wings growing behind him. These huge wings allowed Tianyu to fly in the air. Just like a god. This scene was just like the best answer to her previous words. Hey, are you dumbfounded? I can fly. Nothing is impossible. You actually chose to fight to the end. You should know your fate. Tianyu no longer hesitated. Flying Thunder God Slash. The kunai slashed through Fubuki's body at that moment. The chakra armor on her body was cut directly like tofu. Large pieces of blood were scattered. She finally fell to the ground and died. After dealing with Fubuki, Tianyu looked at Fangjin no Teo again. Do you want to go with me, or do you want to go with me after I beat you half to death? Tianyu looked at Fangjin no Teo and said without hesitation. Fangjin no Teo took a few steps back after hearing what Tianyu said. Then he looked at Tianyu. You should be a ninja from Konoha, hired by Fangjin Zhaozu to help her, but I think she probably doesn't have enough money to pay you. If you come to help me, no matter how much money Fangjin Zhaozu promised to give you in the end, I can give you double. Fangjin no Teo couldn't help but say. Now there are only him and Tianyu left in the room. He has seen Tianyu's ability. Fubuki is not his opponent. No wonder Langaya Avalanche and Dongshin Frozen Rain died in his hands. So even if he took action, it would probably be useless. It's better to try to persuade him. In this way, maybe he can get a helper who is more powerful than those ninjas. In this way, he can successfully obtain the power in the Rainbow Ice Wall. When he gets the power, he can overthrow the rule of the 5 major countries in one fell swoop. Let this world surrender to him. Double. Tianyu couldn't help but smack his lips when he heard this. His action made Feng Jianyu Tao think that he successfully persuaded Tianyu. Yes, it is double. If you want more, I can give it to you. As long as you bring Feng Jian Xiaoxia to me and give me the hexagonal ice crystal, I can not only give you the money, but also a lot of ore. This should be what Konoha needs. I can provide you with ore for forging weapons. Feng Jianyu Tao continued. He wanted to persuade Xianyu to help him. Hearing his words, Xianyu smiled. What you said really makes me very excited. Feng Jian Xiaoxia wants to give me 400 million. The double you said is 800 million. This money is more than enough, but unfortunately, I refuse. Being a ninja requires integrity. Since you have accepted the task, you must complete it. Feng Jian Xiaoxia's task is to help become a daimyo and capture you by the way. Let her do whatever she wants, so I will naturally complete this task. It's still what I said before. Do you want to go with me, or let me beat you half to death and then take you away? Xianyu said with a smile. HMPH, since it doesn't make sense, then the only option is to fight. But don't underestimate me. The chakra armor on my body can enhance my own strength, and the ninjas of the Snow Village are also very powerful. I will let you see the secret of the Snow Village. Ice escape, double dragon strangling. Feng Jianyu Tao made seals with both hands, and in an instant 2 huge black dragons flew out from behind him. The 2 black dragons entangled each other and attacked Tianyu directly. This kind of majesty was not weak at all. Even when the 2 black dragons appeared, the walls in the room collapsed because they could not withstand the power of the 2 black dragons. Obviously, this attack was much stronger than the previous attack of Fubuki. But all this was in vain. In front of Tianyu, Feng Jianyu Tao would not have any chance. 3 Magatama eyes. Tianyu used the ninja tool, the 3 Magatama eyes. The next moment, the 2 black dragons fell to the ground because they lost their strength. And Feng Jianyu Tao was also caught in the illusion and stopped moving. His eyes also became dull. Obviously, his consciousness is still in the illusion space. Let's go. Xianyu ordered Feng Jianyu Tao. Yes. Feng Jianyu Tao was under Xianyu's illusion, so he was obedient to Tianyu. Tianyu led Feng Jianyu Tao to the outside of the fortress. At the same time, outside the fortress, Naruto was guarding the entrance of a cave. Feng Jian Xiaoxia was hiding in the cave. She also held a kunai in her hand. If any enemy broke through Naruto's blockade and broke in, she would use this kunai to commit suicide. She would never let herself fall into the hands of the enemy. Shadow clone technique. Naruto had already performed the shadow clone technique outside. Hundreds of shadow clones rushed up and instantly began to deal with the ninja troops that broke into the cave. Although Naruto was a Jonin, his strength was not weak at all. Although these 3 people were Chunin at the moment, they could not do anything to Naruto for a while. Rasengan. Naruto even found a flaw in one of them and used the Rasengan to seriously injure him. Now there are only 2 people left. Damn it, Konoha ninja, I advise you to get out of the way quickly and let us take Kazuma Koyuki away. Otherwise, when your chakra is exhausted, it will be your death. The ninja looked at Naruto and said sternly. After all, this person believed that Naruto simply could not have so much chakra to support him. These shadow clones now have to consume a lot of chakra supply all the time. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 237 The Root of Everything. So Naruto couldn't hold on for much longer. As long as they could hold on until these shadow clones disappeared, they could capture Naruto directly. However, if they knew that Naruto was from the Uzumaki clan, his own chakra was as vast as the ocean, and Naruto could also obtain the chakra of the 9 tails from time to time. If they could use these shadow clones to fight them for a whole day, they would not know what they would think. As a ninja, the most important goal is to complete the task given by the employer. My task is to protect Sister Xiaoxia. If you want to come over, you have to step over my body. Naruto said sternly. Then he didn't hesitate, but rushed forward actively. Ice escape, ice spikes. Those ninjas used ice escape, and suddenly, countless ice spikes appeared on the ground, attacking Naruto and his group. Bang bang bang. As the spikes continued to appear, Naruto's shadow clones also disappeared one by one into white smoke. However, some shadow clones still took advantage of the last opportunity to rush in front of those ninjas. Next, I'll show you my own taijutsu, Uzumaki Naruto, 2000 consecutive bullets. Naruto cooperated with the shadow clones without hesitation and kicked the two ninjas into the air. Then, following the method of Balayanhara, the remaining dozens of shadow clones rushed forward in an instant. They directly performed taijutsu and hit their bodies. The last blow. Naruto turned his body without hesitation and kicked the two ninjas hard. There was only a buzzing sound. The sound of heavy objects falling to the ground instantly came from the ground. The two ninjas lost consciousness in an instant. They were obviously seriously injured by Naruto. After dealing with the two ninjas, Naruto's remaining shadow clones disappeared. Then Naruto leaned against the mountain wall and panted. His current strength is still only a Sharingan, and the Rasengan has not been fully practiced. The attacks launched just now have consumed too much of Naruto's strength. Now if an enemy appears in front of Naruto again, perhaps Naruto and Kazuma Koyuki will both be in danger. Naruto, are you okay? Fengjin Zaiatsu came out of the cave without hesitation, walked in front of Naruto, and asked anxiously. It's okay, just a little tired, let me relax for a while, Sister Zaiatsu, you go in and rest quickly, don't come out. Naruto showed a bright smile to Fengjin Zaiatsu, and then asked Fengjin Zaiatsu to go back to the cave. After all, Shianai has not come back yet, and it is too dangerous outside. Before Fengjin Zaiatsu had time to speak, a large number of ninjas appeared around them again. Sister Zaiatsu, go to the cave quickly. After seeing these ninjas, Naruto did not hesitate to stand in front of Fengjin Zaiatsu with a kune, fully alert. But this time these ninjas seemed a little different. The leader looked at Fengjin Zaiatsu with some doubts, and then looked at Naruto. Are you Princess Zaiatsu? The leading ninja asked impatiently. I am. You are Uncle Beizong. Fengjin Zaiatsu obviously recognized the leading ninja. That was the captain of the guard team that her father Fengjin Zaoyuki used to be. She still remembered that when she was very young, Uncle Beizong took her to play around in Fengsu City. At that time, she was very happy to ride on Beizong's neck. But she didn't expect that so many years have passed in a flash. She has grown up, and Beizong has grown old. It's Princess Zaiatsu, so great. It turns out that the ninja just now did not lie to us. Princess Zaiatsu really came back to take over the snow country. This is great. Beizong was very excited when he heard Fengjin Zaiatsu's answer. The rebels, were established to resist Fengjin's wrath. Now Fengjin Zaiatsu has returned to the snow country again, so one day, the snow country will be able to restore its former glory. Great. The others cheered again when they heard this. And Naruto was relieved when he saw that these ninjas turned out to be friendly forces. Now, with so many people protecting Sister Zaiatsu, she can rest assured. After gathering with this group of rebels, Shianayu also brought Fengjin Nuteo back to the cave. Brother Shianayu, you are back. Naruto greeted Shianayu as soon as he saw him coming back. Well, I brought Fengjin Nuteo back. As for how to deal with him, you have the final say. Shianayu smiled and rubbed Naruto's head, then looked at Fengjin Zaiatsu. Fengjin Zaiatsu stood up as soon as Shianayu entered the cave. Her eyes fell on Fengjin Nuteo, but she looked at Shianayu more. Thank you. Fengjin Zaiatsu knew that it would take a lot of effort to catch Fengjin Nuteo. It was not as easy as Shianayu showed. You are welcome. You just need to pay the rest of the commission fee. After all, your uncle gave me 800 million commission fees, but I refused. I still think that it is better to earn 400 million. Shianayu smiled and joked. Don't worry, the commission will never be owed. Fengjin Zaiatsu also smiled. Princess Zaiatsu, how should Nuteo be dealt with? Beizong came forward to ask. These rebels hated Fengjin Nuteo very much? Because many of their brothers died in the hands of Fengjin Nuteo. Now Fengjin Nuteo has just fallen into their hands, so of course they have to kill him. This will become a tribute to the heroic souls of the dead brothers. Shianayu, please remove his illusion. I still have a few words to ask him. Fengjin Zaiatsu looked at Fengjin Nuteo. She was trying to restrain the idea of killing Fengjin Nuteo in her heart. Because she still had a few questions to ask. Shianayu didn't say anything, but just solved the illusion of the three Magatama eyes. What's going on? Where is this place? When the illusion was solved, Fengjian Nuteo looked around in surprise. But when he saw the rebels and Fengjian Xiaoxu, Fengjian Nuteo understood everything. Now this is no longer his fortress, but a cave outside. Fengjian Nuteo, why did you attack my father? I can't understand. Although you are not the one in power in this country, your father has been very kind to you. He gave you the position of prince and provided you with a life of luxury. But you killed my father. Why did you do that? Fengjian Xiaoxu wanted to know what was going on. Chapter 238 Rainbow Ice Wall. Your father was too weak. When faced with the 5 great countries' request for minerals, he didn't dare to refuse. He could only talk about peace in a pitiful way. Our snow country is too weak and has no absolute strength. How can we talk about peace with others? Fengjian Nuteo answered without hesitation. This is not the reason for you to kill my father. We are weak, but we can slowly become stronger, instead of hiring these ninjas. Now the snow country under your rule has long been rotten. No one really accepts your rule. Everyone is looking forward to overthrowing you. Is that what you are pursuing to become stronger? More importantly, I don't see the snow country becoming stronger at all. On the contrary, I think it has become weaker, because the people here can't even beat a child from Konoha. Don't you think it's ridiculous? Fengjian Xiaoxu roared. She really couldn't understand why Fengjian Nuteo was such a person. She was actually afraid of him before. Now thinking about it, she was simply confused at that time. That's because you took away the hexagonal ice crystal, so I couldn't open the rainbow ice wall and get the power inside. I couldn't even mine the rainbow ore and forge weapons, which made my plan fail. Otherwise, I'm afraid I would have already obtained the power to defeat the 5 major countries and unify the entire world. Fengjian Nuteo roared at Fengjian Xiaoxu. In Fengjian Nuteo's view, it was Fengjian Xiaoxu who hindered his unification cause. But listening to Fengjian Nuteo's words, Tianyu just felt ridiculous. Surpass the power of the 5 major countries. If it was the other 4 ninja villages, it might be possible. But surpassing Konoha? What are you thinking? Don't talk about the battles that will happen later, just talk about the previous battles. Which one didn't Konoha win the final victory? The first generation Hokage, Senju Hashirama, is even called the god of ninja, and Uchiha Madara is also called the Shura of the ninja world. The tailed beasts are extremely powerful, but they are casually distributed by Senju Hashirama as commodities to balance the power of various countries. No one in other countries has this strength. It can be said that every time the ninja world is in turmoil, it is basically the ninjas of Konoha. This Fengjian Nuteo actually has the nerve to say that he can obtain power beyond the 5 major countries. It is ridiculous. Ding. The system issues a task to obtain the Rainbow Ice Crystal. System reward, Gaia Shield Blueprint. At this moment, the system, which has not had any news for a long time, has once again issued a task. The moment he heard the description of the task, Tianyu understood that the Rainbow Ice Crystal should be obtained from the Rainbow Ice Wall. But there is no hurry. According to the development of the plot, the Rainbow Ice Wall will definitely be opened. At that time, he will find an opportunity to get the Rainbow Ice Crystal. What, are you kidding? You don't know how powerful the ninjas outside are. What you call getting the power that can surpass the ninjas of the 5 major countries is just a joke. Fengjian Xiaoxu looked at Fengjian Nuteo and rebuked without hesitation. Fengjian Xiaoxu once thought that the ninjas of other countries were just like this. But when she walked out and saw the ninjas of Konoha and other ninjas, she realized that she was just sitting in a well and looking at the sky before. The ninjas of Konoha are so powerful that they can't compare to them at all. There are other villages, and those ninjas have all kinds of powers. They are more powerful than the ninjas of the snow country. Even the chakra armor they are proud of is just so-so in the eyes of others. You are talking nonsense. Fengjian Nuteo still didn't believe what Fengjian Xiaoxu said. In his opinion, Fengjian Xiaoxu is a loser. Okay, since you are so determined, then I will take you to see the power behind the Rainbow Ice Wall. Is it as powerful as you describe? Take him to the Rainbow Ice Wall. Fengjian Xiaoxu ordered the rebels to take the people away. Yes. The leader of the rebels found 2 people to take Fengjian Nuteo away. Fengjian Xiaoxu took the initiative to walk towards the direction of the Rainbow Ice Wall, and Tianyu and Naruto followed behind them. Brother Tianyu, is there really such a powerful power behind the Rainbow Ice Wall? Naruto was still a little confused at this time. Naruto is no longer the naive person he used to be. After a month of teaching from Tianyu and Minato Namikaze, Naruto is getting stronger and stronger. He is no longer thinking in a way that can only see the surface in front of him. Instead, he begins to dig into the deep meaning. If the Rainbow Ice Wall is really that powerful, it will definitely cause competition among the 5 major countries. No. Tianyu shook his head directly. Tianyu still remembers this part. When the Rainbow Ice Wall was opened, in addition to the high-quality ores inside, there was also a geothermal device set up inside. The hexagonal ice crystals can open the geothermal device and transform the snow country from the severe cold of winter to the warmth of spring. It can be regarded as a weather converter. But there is absolutely no power that can surpass the 5 major countries. Even if there is, that thing must be in Konoha. It cannot be anywhere else. Then I'm relieved. Naruto smiled and patted his chest. What are you relieved about? Tianyu looked at Naruto in surprise and asked. Don't worry, Konoha will not be attacked. I still remember the previous attacks. People were injured and everyone was terrified, afraid that they would die if they were not careful. Naruto was a little helpless when talking about the last battle. Don't worry, as long as I am here, I will not let the village be in danger. Tianyu looked at Naruto and promised. Tianyu grew up in Konoha since he was a child. It has been 13 years, and he has a lot of feelings for Konoha. No matter what happens in the future, he will protect Konoha well. And more importantly, let Konoha thrive. No longer be eroded by those dirty things. As they talked, everyone came to the Rainbow Ice Wall. This was originally the country of snow, a place that attracts tourists. When the sun shines on the 6 ice walls around, these ice will reflect the sun's light, emit colorful colors. When taking pictures or holding ceremonies here, you will have beautiful scenery. So there used to be a lot of buildings here, which are traces left by the people of the country of snow who opened shops and built houses here. But later, the Rainbow Ice Wall no longer appeared, and the snow country was ruled by Fengji and Nuteo. Gradually, no one came to the snow country anymore. Chapter 239 System Mission. Everything here was abandoned. Now they were standing on the ruins. Fengji and Zyaksu slowly walked to the center of the square. In the center of the square, there was a small altar. Fengji and Zyaksu took off the hexagonal ice crystal on her neck, and then inserted the hexagonal ice crystal into the hole of the altar without hesitation. In an instant, a blue light flashed. This light was like a spider web, spreading around. The speed of diffusion was very fast. In just a moment, this speed had spread to the 6 ice walls around. And with the appearance of the light, the 6 ice walls also began to flash colorful light. It looked like a rainbow ice wall. And the surrounding land also changed from snow to the warm sun of spring in that instant. Flowers that only grow in spring appeared on the ground. The surroundings also changed from the biting cold wind to the warm spring breeze. All these changes happened in just a moment. But once again, everyone was amazed. This is impossible. Fengji and Nuteo looked at this scene with his eyes wide open. He didn't believe that the power of the Rainbow Ice Wall was only this. In his imagination, once the power of the Rainbow Ice Wall was opened, he would merge with these powers. His strength would surpass the shadow level in an instant. He would also become a super master, so that he could lead the army of the snow country to conquer all parts of the world. Turn all those places into the territory of the snow country. But what he didn't expect was that the power of the Rainbow Ice Wall was just to transform the ice and snow of the snow country into spring. That's all. Nothing is impossible. My father was thinking about this with me at the time. My father said that there were geothermal springs under the Rainbow Ice Wall. If the power of geothermal heat could be used, the snow country could be turned into spring. At that time, my father had already secretly built these devices. It's just a pity that you think the Rainbow Ice Wall contains power that can surpass the 5 major countries. You launched a rebellion and killed my father. Now you can see that there is no power here at all. Fengji and Zyaksu looked at Fengji and Nuteo and said with gritted teeth. No, it's impossible. There, the Rainbow Ice Wall has been opened. There must be the power I need there. Fengji and Nuteo said, and he instantly broke free from the 2 rebels who were holding him down, and then he ran directly into the cave of the Rainbow Ice Wall. Catch him! Fengji and Zyaksu ordered. Yes. The rebels also reacted and chased Fengji and Nuteo into the cave. Naruto, Princess Fengji and Zyaksu, you two stay here, I'll go in and take a look. After Tianyu finished speaking, he also entered the cave. The cave of the rainbow ice wall is just an ordinary bell-shaped stone cave. Perhaps because the geothermal device was activated, it was very warm inside, and there was even a warm spring breeze blowing constantly. Soon after entering the cave, Tianyu could see that there were many high-quality ores on the walls around him. These ores can be refined into excellent materials, and the ninja tools made from them are durable and very sharp. They are definitely excellent materials. And the further you go in, the better the quality of the ores, and some of the ores even have various colors. These ores are ores with the 5 elements. They can be used to forge 5 elements ninja tools, which can enhance the power of ninja tools. This is undoubtedly an excellent raw material for Tianyu. Don't run. The voices of the rebels in front are getting louder and louder. Feng Jianu Teo's footsteps also stopped, because they have come to the deepest part of the rainbow ice wall. In a huge ice crystal here, there is a small piece of crystal stone emitting colorful colors. The crystal stone emits a very powerful light in the dark. Tianyu saw the crystal stone at a glance. It seems that it should be the rainbow ice crystal mentioned in the system task. Haha, I really found it. This is something that can rival the power of the 5 major countries. Feng Jianu Teo laughed after seeing the rainbow crystal stone. Then he began to attack the ice wall without hesitation, trying to take out the rainbow crystal stone. Boom! The power of the chakra armor on his body was exerted to the extreme. A punch hit the ice wall. Suddenly, a deafening sound was heard. Even the surrounding ground trembled. No, stop him quickly. This ice wall is the support of the cave. If it is broken, we will all be buried alive. The faces of the rebels changed drastically after seeing this scene. They rushed forward to try to stop Feng Jianu Tao. Get out. Ice escape. 2 dragons kill each other. Feng Jianu Tao performed ninjutsu without hesitation, and in an instant, 2 huge black dragons directly crashed into the rebels. Boom. Just one blow made the rebels lose their fighting power. They fell to the ground and tried to get up with difficulty. Boom. Feng Jianu Tao continued to attack the ice wall. As the ice wall gradually broke, the shaking around became more and more severe. In the end, it directly caused an earthquake. The ground under their feet cracked. Gradually, some rebels were about to fall directly into the crack. At this critical moment, the person who was about to fall was caught by Tianyu. He casually threw some healing things to these rebels. Tianyu came in front of Feng Jianu Tao. At this moment, Feng Jianu Tao also threw the last punch. Boom, crack. After a deafening sound, there was a sound like something breaking. Everyone saw that the ice wall wrapped with a colorful crystal had completely cracked. The colorful crystal inside was placed there. It was flashing with beautiful light. Power, it's mine. Feng Jianu Tao stretched out his hand and wanted to hold the colorful crystal in his hand. But the next moment, the colorful crystal had already fallen into Tianyu's hand. What? Give me back the crystal. Feng Jianu Tao. Now the biggest wish is to get the rainbow crystal to get more powerful power. Seeing the crystal being snatched away, Feng Jianu Tao was about to attack directly. But he was hit in the chest by Tianyu. The whole person was directly embedded in the ice wall. This is just a piece of extremely high quality ore. With this thing, you can forge the most powerful weapon in the world. It can be said that this is indeed a power that surpasses the 5 major countries. But if it is used in your hands, it can only become a piece of scrap iron. So I will accept this thing with a smile, and you, since you have helped me find the rainbow crystal, it's time for you to die. Tianyu smiled. Chapter 240, Snow Country Daimyo. Then once again, the ice wall was completely broken. Boom. In the cave, the rocks buried Feng Jianu Tao inside. Blood flowed out, and it was obvious that Feng Jianu Tao had been crushed into meat paste. After doing this, Tianyu did not hesitate to use the 3 Magadama eyes to wash away the memories of the rainbow ice crystals of these rebels. Then, taking advantage of the fact that the cave had not completely collapsed, all the rebels were taken out with the Flying Thunder God technique. After they went out, the interior of this serious cave collapsed completely. The ground around them roared. Huge smoke rose. Obviously, there was no way to get in. Tianyu, are you okay? After the cave collapsed, Feng Jianzhaozu ran towards Tianyu regardless of everything. When she saw that Tianyu was okay, Feng Jianzhaozu could no longer bear it and hugged Tianyu directly, with tears rolling down her face. At the moment when the cave collapsed, Feng Jianzhaozu did not see Tianyu. At that moment, her heart almost stopped. But fortunately, Tianyu was fine, and everyone in the resistance army was fine. It's okay, but your uncle Feng Jianyu is not so lucky. He broke the ice wall inside, and the cave collapsed just now. I'm afraid he has been buried inside and died. Tianyu let Feng Jianzhaozu hold him, until everyone looked at him and Feng Jianzhaozu in surprise. Tianyu couldn't help but push Feng Jianzhaozu away. Then he looked at everyone helplessly and said, "It doesn't matter, as long as you are fine. Anyway, even if he is still alive, I will try him at that time, let him plead guilty in front of the whole country, and sentence him to death. Letting him die like this now is really a bargain for him." Feng Jianzhaozu said directly without any doubt after hearing Tianyu's words. After all, even if Feng Jianyu is her uncle, but he is also the murderer of her father, and the culprit who made her travel abroad for so many years. Feng Jianzhaozu will never let him go. Well, but in this way, our commission mission is also completed. You have returned to the snow country safely. Now Feng Jianyu is dead, and no one can stop you from becoming the daimyo of the snow country. I believe that in the near future, you will be able to become a good daimyo and let the people of the snow country live a good life. Tianyu said with a smile. Well, I also believe that I can become a good daimyo. Let's go back first, back to the long-lost Fengshui city. Feng Jianzhaozu's face turned red. Along the way, the leader of the rebels, Bizong, seemed to want to ask about the relationship between Feng Jianzhaozu and Tianyu. But he didn't ask several times. After all, this question is not appropriate at the moment. Fengshui City is the capital of the snow country. No one has come here for a long time. Many places have been covered with dust. But today, when Feng Jianzhaozu returned to Fengshui City, everyone in the snow country knew that their princess was back and would continue to lead them to a good life in the future. So those who were hiding in various parts of the snow country rushed to Fengshui City. Bringing all their belongings, they came to Fengshui City. They wanted to show their greatest loyalty to Kazuma Koyuki. What happened next was naturally to clean up the Fengshui City, and then Kazuma Koyuki would inherit the daimyo. All this had nothing to do with Tianyu Naruto and the others. So during these 2 days, the two of them began to travel around the various beautiful scenery of the snow country. Eat all the delicacies here. To be honest, the scenery of the snow country is nice, and the hot springs here are also very pleasant. If they didn't have to go back to Konoha, then they could stay here for a few more days to enjoy the scenery. 3 days later, in the Fengshui City, the capital of the snow country, thousands of people were cheering. They were cheering the name of Kazuma Koyuki loudly. And Kazuma Koyuki, she was wearing the daimyo's clothes, standing on the city wall and looking at the people below. I promise here that I will lead everyone to live the best days. After saying this, countless people below were boiling. They cheered and celebrated this victory. The dance began. Everyone celebrated. And Kazuma Koyuki walked in front of Tianyu. Congratulations, daimyo. Tianyu looked at Feng Jianzhaozu and nodded at her. Don't say that. If it weren't for you, I would never have become the daimyo. You have helped me so much. I will pay you the commission fee as soon as possible, but I have another request. I wonder if you can help me. Feng Jianzhaozu looked at Tianyu and bit her lip. It was obviously difficult to say what she was going to say next. Just tell me. If I can help you, I will definitely help you. Tianyu smiled. I hope you can stay in the snow country and manage the entire country with me. I need a suitable person to help me, and I also need a... Feng Jianzhaozu couldn't say the rest of the words. But Tianyu understood what Feng Jianzhaozu meant. Sorry, I am a ninja from Konoha. If I come to the snow country, it would be a defection. And I also have a fiancé in Konoha. The village still needs me, so I'm sorry. Tianyu directly rejected Feng Jianzhaozu. This also made Feng Jianzhaozu's face turn a little pale. It's okay. Feng Jianzhaozu shook her head, obviously a little disappointed. Well, now that our mission has been completed, we will leave here later and return to Konoha. Goodbye. Tianyu said goodbye to Feng Jianzhaozu. So soon? Won't you stay a few more days? Feng Jianzhaozu was reluctant to hear Tianyu's words. She didn't want Tianyu to leave. I'm sorry, there are still tasks to be done in the village, and we have been out for too long. Now we have to go back. Okay, then I wish you a safe journey. Fengji and Xiaoxu said this and left here a little lost. The celebration is still going on. Tianyu has already taken Naruto on the way back. Fengji and Xiaoxu stood on the wall of Fengshui City and looked at them reluctantly. Besides Tianyu, Naruto looked back at Fengji and Xiaoxu. Brother Tianyu, did sister Xiaoxu confess to you just now? Naruto looked at Tianyu with a gossipy look on his face and joked. No, and why are you saying these things, kid? If you have time, you should practice more. Tianyu refused directly. There was no possibility for him and Fengji and Xiaoxu at all. Not to mention that Konoha couldn't do without him now. Even he himself didn't like Fengji and Xiaoxu very much. This princess with princess syndrome has now become a daimyo. Chapter 241 Fengji on Xiaoxu's retention. What happened in the past few days will make Fengji and Xiaoxu mature, but her personality will not change. Tianyu doesn't like such a willful princess. More importantly, he likes Hinata. Oh, don't be like this, Tianyu brother, actually let me say that Xiaoxu's sister is not bad, she is beautiful and has a good family background. Tianyu brother can really consider it. What's more, the good-looking fairy told me that beautiful women like heroes, and Tianyu brother is such a hero. Naruto continued. Okay, don't talk about this issue anymore. After you go back, you only need to report the mission situation here. As for what happened just now, don't tell Tsunade and Hinata. Tianyu had a bad premonition in his heart. If Hinata knew about this, it would be okay, but if Tsunade knew about it, I'm afraid it would be extremely difficult. Return by the original route. 3 days later, Tianyu and the others returned to Konoha Hokage office. Okay, I already know what you are talking about. Naruto and Jiraiya have returned. He asked me to inform you that if you come back, go back quickly. He is waiting for you in the room. He has prepared the next stage of training for you. Tsunade looked at Naruto and said. Okay, Tsunade-chan. Hokage-sama. Naruto was about to call Tsunade-chan, but he saw the look in Tsunade's eyes and was stunned for a moment. Then he immediately changed his words. Then he ran out of the Konoha office without hesitation. Ah, so women are really scary. Naruto thought while running. You don't have to scare Naruto so much. Tianyu looked at Naruto's back and smiled helplessly. Because Naruto looked like he was going to flee in panic. Huh? Tsunade just snorted coldly after hearing Tianyu's words. I have read the task list you submitted. You did a good job. The commission fee has been received. I will also give you your share. However, something seems to have happened to Kakashi these 2 days. If you have time, go and have a look. But the most important thing is, did that Kazuma Koyuki say anything to you when you went to the snow country this time? Tsunade folded her hands together, looked up at Tianyu and smiled brightly. But Tianyu felt a sense of danger from Tsunade's smile. What else? It's just some mission matters. I have already solved them. Tianyu replied with a smile. Oh, is that so? Tsunade nodded. The tone was prolonged, obviously not believing it. Yes, how else could it be? Well, I haven't been back for nearly half a month. I'm going home to see Tiantian and Hinata, and I'll leave first. Tianyu couldn't stand Tsunade's questioning, turned around and ran out of the Hokage's office directly. The speed was almost catching up with Flying Thunder God. Huh? Tsunade snorted coldly and sat on the chair. Okay, Tsunade-sama, since there is no mention of Kazuma Koyuki in Amaji-sama's mission report, it means that it never happened. Besides, Kazuma Koyuki has now become a great figure in the snow country. Even if she wants to come, she has to inform in advance. Don't worry, Tsunade-sama. Shizune hugged Tenten and comforted her. As Tsunade's disciple, Shizune certainly knew what Tsunade was thinking. So she could only comfort her. Oh, I know, review the documents. Tsunade shook her head when she heard this, and began to review the documents in front of her again. On the street. Amaji originally wanted to go home directly, but thinking that he hadn't seen her for a long time, he decided to bring some gifts back to Amaji and the others. By the way, he bought the ingredients for dinner. Amaji took a detour to the main street. But what he didn't expect was that Amaji saw Might Guy and Lee here. To be precise, it was Might Guy and Lee and the group of people behind them. The group of people wearing green jumpsuits. It must be said that a group of people in green jumpsuits walking upside down on the street was a shocking scene. Might Guy, what are you doing? Tianyu walked to Might Guy helplessly and asked. Ah, it's Tianyu. It's been a long time since we last met. I'm practicing, of course. As for the people behind me, they are my new disciples, and they are now practicing with me in Xioli. After Might Guy said this, he turned around and shouted loudly to the group of people behind him. Hey, if you want to become my disciples, you must walk upside down around Konoha 50 times, and you must complete it before dinner tonight, otherwise I won't accept you as my disciples. Youth is about blood and sweat, so work hard, everyone. After saying this, Might Guy showed a standard smile with 8 teeth. When he heard this, the group of people behind him wailed. Obviously, they really couldn't complete such a requirement. Teacher Might Guy, sometimes training is gradual. You and Lee are great now, but they are rookies after all. If they follow your training intensity, it may have a counterproductive effect. Tianyu said helplessly. Might Guy is like this. I still remember when he became Might Guy's student, his strength was not as strong as it is now. Although he didn't have to walk upside down in Konoha with Lee every day, the training intensity was really too strong. That won't work. These people are coming to learn the 8 gates of the ninjutsu from me, but their physical strength is not up to standard. If they want to learn the 8 gates of the ninjutsu step by step, it will take at least 2 years, and now we don't have that much time for them to learn, so if they can't keep up with my training, they will be eliminated. Besides, youth is about sweating. If you can't work hard to be the best, there's no need to waste time. Might Guy said seriously for the first time in a long time. Well, okay, then go ahead, but you have to control the scale. Tianyu replied. Well, I know, but Tianyu, if you have time, go see Kakashi. This guy has been a little uneasy recently, as if something is going to happen. I am always a little worried about him. Might Guy frowned. Okay, I will go see Kakashi. Tianyu also frowned when he heard this. Tsunade said this to him before in the Hokage's office, and now Might Guy also said the same thing to him. Chapter 242 Returning to the village, Kakashi's situation. This means that Kakashi has indeed encountered some problems, and these problems are not small. What is going on? Could it be that Obito is harassing Kakashi in his dreams again? This guy, there should be a limit to what he says. Tianyu frowned. He always felt that something was wrong this time. According to Shisu's news, the Akatsuki organization has now lurked, waiting for the opportunity to kill with one blow. So Obito should not monitor Kakashi casually. As for Kakashi's Sharingan, if Obito wanted to take it back, he would have taken action long ago, but he hasn't taken action yet, which means that he doesn't want to take action against Kakashi. But it doesn't rule out the possibility that Obito changes his mind. After all, the Akatsuki organization has lost several people at once. Well, I know, I will definitely go to see Kakashi when I have time. Tianyu nodded. Soon, Might Guy took Rock Lee and the people behind him to continue the practice of walking upside down around Konoha. And Tianyu also returned home. Brother, I miss you so much. After not seeing each other for a long time, when Tiantian saw Tianyu appear, she threw herself into his arms. Long time no see. By the way, this is my gift for you. Take it. Tianyu smiled and handed the gift to Tiantian. Great. Tiantian accepted the gift with a smile, and then put the ingredients Tianyu bought in the kitchen. Finally, he walked to Tianyu with a gossipy face. Brother, I heard that Fujifu Ayuki is super beautiful, right? Tiantian asked with a gossipy face. Why are you asking this? Tianyu looked at Tiantian with some curiosity. Of course I want to know whether she is beautiful or not. Tiantian said loudly, and then slowly lowered his head under Tianyu's gaze. Then he looked at Tianyu a little embarrassed. Actually, I'm asking for my sister-in-law. Lady Tsunade said that Fujifu Ayuki has some other ideas about you, brother, so of course I have to ask you carefully, but don't do anything bad. Tiantian said anxiously. After all, she recognized Hinata as her sister-in-law. Not only was she from a famous family, but she was also beautiful and gentle. She was the best wife ever. More importantly, Hinata was the kind of person who would never change her mind once she decided on someone. Tiantian thought that such a person was 100 times better than Fujiki Yuki. What are you thinking about? She is the daimyo of the snow country. There is nothing between you and me. Don't worry. Tianyu smiled directly. He rubbed Tiantian's head and said, yeah, if that's the case, it couldn't be better. Tiantian smiled with satisfaction when he heard this. Not long after Tianyu came back, Hinata also came back. This time, Tiantian didn't ask Hinata to help in the kitchen. Instead, he pushed Hinata in front of Tianyu and let them talk. Hinata was very shy, but she still asked Tianyu about his recent mission, and told him not to be too tired. Hearing Hinata's concern, Tianyu smiled. He looked at Hinata with a gentle look. Sure enough, he still liked Hinata the most. After dinner and chatting, Tianyu sent Hinata back to the Hyuga clan. He went back to his room to rest. The next morning, Tianyu had just woken up and washed up, and he planned to go to the training place to see what was going on there. But the Anbu next to Tsunade came to Tianyu. Lord Tianyu, Lady Tsunade asked me to take you to the office. The Anbu knelt respectfully in front of Tianyu. What happened? Tianyu looked at the Anbu, who were carefully selected from the village and selected after the personal approval of the first and second generation Hokage. It can be said that they are loyal to Tsunade, and there is absolutely no way they can make any mistakes. Now Tsunade sent this Anbu to pick him up, which is not an ordinary thing. Lord Tianyu, we don't know about this matter. Lady Tsunade only ordered you to go to the office as soon as possible. The Anbu lowered his head and said to Tianyu. Okay. Tianyu nodded, and then came to the Hokage's office as quickly as possible. As soon as he pushed open the door of the Hokage's office, Tianyu saw a man in a long robe and a tall hat standing in front of Tsunade. The man's clothes looked very luxurious, and the head on his head was inlaid with a feather crown. You can tell at a glance that he is a noble. Tianyu, let me introduce you, this is. He must be the daimyo's retainer. Tianyu guessed the origin of the man in front of him. Hello, Lord Tianyu, I am Fingdori, the daimyo's retainer. Because of the losses suffered by Konoha some time ago, the daimyo sent me here to take a look at the situation in Konoha, and by the way, take Tsunade to meet the daimyo. Fingdori said. I see. Tianyu nodded. No wonder Tsunade asked him to hurry over there so early in the morning. It turned out that it was the daimyo's retainer who came. It's no wonder. The daimyo is the supreme ruler of the Fire Country. Konoha is just a ninja village under the Fire Country. It can be regarded as one of the military forces of the Fire Country. Now that the village has changed Hokage, it is natural to go to the Fire Country and the capital to report the news to the daimyo in person. Well, I have already talked to Fuotoki and will set off tomorrow. Tianyu is going to the Fire Country this time, and I want you to accompany me in person. Tsunade said. After all, except for Utatane Kahoru and Midakato En, all the other high-level elders in the Land of Fire have already been taken down by Tsunade. And if Utatane Kahoru and Midakato En, the two old men, go to the Land of Fire with him and report the news to the daimyo in the capital, perhaps these two people will operate in secret and cause her some obstacles. So Tsunade can only find Tianyu, who is also an elder, to go with her. Besides, this is also the intention of the second Hokage. The second Hokage, Senju Tobirama, is very familiar with his disciples. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo are both people with wolfish ambitions. The only difference is that Sarutobi Hiruzen can conceal his ambitions very well, while Shimura Danzo cannot. As for Midakato En and Utatane Kahoru, Midakato En is a person with no opinion. He often follows whichever side is stronger. He is a typical fence-sitter. Utatane Kahoru is a strong person, but she has no ability. When Sarutobi Hiruzen was around, he was able to suppress Utatane Kahoru and Midakato En. Now that Sarutobi Hiruzen is dead, Utatane Kahoru's mind has naturally become more active. Chapter 243 Visitors from the Fire Nation. And Midamanen En will naturally act with Utatane Kahoru. Tsunade will not give them such an opportunity. No problem, but who are you going to give the task of Konoha to? Tianyu looked at Tsunade and asked. Of course it's the second grandfather. As early as when I was very young, when the second grandfather was not yet Hokage, he began to help deal with various things. The first grandfather did nothing every day, and he liked to hold me and go in and out of various small, let's not talk about that. Tsunade blushed. Obviously, the few words he just said have exposed the old bottom of the first generation Hokage. As for the last word of Tsunade, it is nothing more than a small steel ball shop. The first generation Hokages like Tsunade, both are out-and-out gamblers, and they are also out-and-out big fat sheep. The only difference is that the first generation Hokage has money and willfulness, while Tsunade is willful because of her beauty. Okay, a moment of silence for the second generation Hokage. Tianyu thought of the dead face of the second-generation Hokage and couldn't help laughing. After all, although the second Hokage has been brought back to the human world by the impure world reincarnation, he is still a dead person. Letting a dead person return to work in the human world feels like exploiting the dead. But this is Tsunade's order anyway. Tsunade has no father to cheat. She can only cheat her grandfather as much as she can. Amaji. Tsunade glared at Amaji. But because Fudo was here, she couldn't say anything. Okay, since you have decided on the time, I'll take my leave. Fudo had seen a lot of things around the daimyo, so she naturally didn't care about what Tsunade said. After saying goodbye to them, she left the Hokage's office. Well, Amaji, I asked you to go find Kakashi yesterday, did you go? Tsunade looked at Amaji and asked after Fudo left. No, but I think nothing will happen to Kakashi. Maybe it's because he has changed since he started practicing swordsmanship, and that person's death anniversary is coming soon. The person that Tianyu was talking about was naturally Uchiha Obito. Of course, except Tianyu, no one in Konoha knew that Uchiha Obito was still alive. And Kakashi regarded Obito as his most important partner and close friend. On Obito's death anniversary, Kakashi would naturally not be in a good mood. That's right, but if you have time, you still have to persuade him well. That person has been dead for so many years. Tsunade sighed. Tianyu felt something was wrong when listening to Tsunade's words. Tsunade's words were as if Kakashi's wife had died, and others were persuading him to think more positively and find another one. Well, this must be his illusion, it must be. Tomorrow we will go to the capital of the Land of Fire. The news we will report should be the situation of Konoha this time, and the suicide of Sarutobi Hiruzen. After these two are resolved, I will ask the daimyo for more subsidies. As for Tianyu, after I meet the daimyo, I will recommend you to become an elder. In this way, you will have a place with the daimyo, and if you want to exercise the rights of an elder in the future, it will be more legitimate. Tsunade looked at Tianyu and said, the appointment of Konoha Hokage and the appointment of elders are all decided by Konoha, and the daimyo will appoint them after the names are reported to the daimyo. So as long as Konoha decides, the candidate will not change, but the daimyo still has to go through the formalities. In this way, the procedures are complete. Okay, you can handle it as you see fit. Tianyu nodded and said nothing. Becoming the new elder was something that Tianyu and Tsunade had agreed on long ago, and there was no need to discuss it. Okay, that's enough, you should go back and pack up. Tsunade said and ordered him to leave. Okay. Tianyu nodded, and then left the Hokage's office. After returning home, Tiantian was even more excited when she learned that Tianyu was going to the Land of Fire and the capital to meet the daimyo tomorrow. She kept looking for clothes in the closet for Tianyu to change clothes. So in Tiantian's eyes, Tianyu reluctantly became the miracle Tianyu, allowing Tiantian to find clothes for him like a mannequin. In the end, he knew that he had worn all the clothes in the closet, but Tiantian was still not satisfied. So he called Hinata again and forcibly dragged Tianyu to the street market to buy clothes. Tianyu followed the two women. Finally, I understand what it means that there is always a piece of clothing missing in a woman's closet. Because with the help of Tiantian and Hinata, they almost emptied the entire store. Fortunately, they finally found suitable clothes, and Tiantian finally let Tianyu go, and continued to go shopping happily with Hinata. The rest of the things were taken back by Tianyu. After moving all the things back, Tianyu was relieved. Then he made a decision that he would never go shopping again. Really, going shopping is even more tiring than staying at home for 10 hours of ironwork. But speaking of ironwork, it seems that the reward for this trip to the Snow Country system has been issued. Ninja Tool, Gaia Shield. Type, Defensive Shield. Power, Absolute Defense. Skills, each defense can defend against any attack of any force 100%, and the durability is consumed during defense. When the durability is 0, Gaia Shield can cast the Sky Support Shield once, and the Gaia Shield will be broken after casting. Blueprint, non-disposable item, sustainable manufacturing. Tianyu looked at the introduction on the blueprint and was very satisfied with this ninja tool. The rumored Earth Shield has the power of absolute defense. It is the strongest shield, and can even rebound all attacks from the enemy. It is the strongest shield beside the Earth Goddess Gaia, and has made great military achievements for her. In the last decisive battle, it even protected 30,000 people at once from the attack of the Supreme God. It is conceivable how strong the defense of this shield is. And now Tianyu has obtained the blueprint of Gaia's shield. As long as the right materials are found, Gaia's shield can be obtained. This means that Tianyu now has the strongest defense in the Naruto world. This is really good. Open the blueprint. The creation of Gaia's shield is not complicated, but the corresponding materials are very precious. The first thing to bear the brunt is the rainbow ice crystal, which he has already obtained from the rainbow ice wall. The second is the awakens tortoise shell. These two things are the most important. The rest are some good black iron ore and the like. These can be found in the Naruto world. But as for the awakens tortoise shell, I am afraid that these two will have to wait for the system reward. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 244, Fire Nation Capital. But Tianyu believed that the next task would be completed quickly. By then, he would be able to forge the Gaia shield. After collecting the rainbow ice crystals casually, Tianyu continued to forge iron and exercise himself. Early the next morning, Tianyu arrived in front of the Hokage building. Fudo had already prepared the sedan chair. Tsunade, Tianyu, and Fudo sat on the sedan chair and set off together towards the capital of the Land of Fire. Next to the sedan chair, Shizune followed with Tiantian in her arms. By the way, we should be able to walk faster than to take a sedan chair. Tianyu looked at the sedan chair bearers around him and said helplessly. After all, this sedan chair only looks better. But in fact, it is slower than their travel speed. At this rate, the capital of the Land of Fire, which could have been reached in one day, may take at least 3 days. Haha, Lord Tianyu is joking. This is a kind of etiquette. We have to follow it. I hope Lord Tianyu will forgive us. Fudo is very good at speaking. Logically speaking, as a retainer of the daimyo, Futari did not need to be respectful to the ninjas of Konoha. But when Futari arrived in Konoha, he did not show any arrogance to them. Even in words, he was quite awed by Amaji and Tsunade. Obviously, Futari was a man who knew how to behave. Okay, it's just right for me to catch up on some sleep. After Amaji said this, he closed his eyes and began to sleep. Just like this, they walked and stopped along the way. Occasionally, Amaji would talk to Tsunade about some situations and talk to Futari. But more often, Amaji would sit in the sedan chair with his eyes closed and rest. 2 days later, everyone came to the capital of the Land of Fire. This is an extremely magnificent city. In the huge city surrounded by red bricks and green tiles, there is also an inner city. The inner city is the palace of the Land of Fire, where the daimyo lives. Other places are where the residents of the Land of Fire live. Anyone who can live here is a nobleman. They are worth a lot of money. It can be said that walking in this city, the people you meet casually are probably the rich and powerful. Tsunade-sama, Aim-sama, your accommodation has been arranged. Next, I will report your situation to the daimyo in the palace, and then arrange a meeting tomorrow. Someone will take you to the post station tonight. I hope you have a good rest. After entering the capital, Fudo said to Aim-sama and Tsunade with a smile. You're welcome. Tsunade nodded. Then a guard took them to the post station in the city. It's called a post station, but in fact, this place usually receives guests from the surrounding area. The decoration inside is extremely luxurious. No matter which room you walk into, it is extremely luxurious, fully demonstrating the wealth of the Land of Fire. Ah, it's comfortable. After everyone left and there were no outsiders, Gang went to work and couldn't wait to run to the big bed in the room, then lay on the bed and let out a long sigh of comfort. To be honest, Tsunade is not used to the sedan chair. She couldn't stretch her legs in the sedan chair these 2 days. But fortunately, now she's out, and can live in such a luxurious place. The bed is not bad. It seems that she can have a good rest tonight. Tianyu saw Tsunade like this, and couldn't help but smile. You should be hungry, right? I'll find someone to bring you some food. Tianyu said with a smile. Ah, Lord Tianyu, this matter should be done by me. You have a good rest. Shizune reacted after hearing Tianyu's words, and then walked out and asked the boss here to send some food up. But when Shizune left, she didn't take Tiantian with her. So the pink Tiantian slowly climbed onto the big bed, then crawled to Tsunade's side, licked Tsunade's face, and slept peacefully beside Tsunade. Tunton, so cute. Tsunade smiled, and then directly hugged Tunton in her arms. Started to ravage. While playing, Tsunade's chest showed a touch of white, like a big steamed bun. This made Tianyu cough, feeling a little uncomfortable. Oh, Tianyu is blushing. Tsunade looked at Tianyu like this and couldn't help laughing. Tsunade, stop it. Tianyu was a little angry because he was hot on the heart. I won't. I finally got out of Konoha and finally got rid of those files that gave me a headache. Of course, I have to stay here for a few days and give myself a vacation. When I traveled to various countries before, I often came to the capital of the Land of Fire. I remember there is a casino here, which is very fun. By the way, Tianyu, you should have brought enough money this time. Tsunade hugged Tunton and looked at Tianyu with ill intentions. Hearing this, Tianyu suddenly felt a little dangerous. His wallet was in danger. Yes, I brought a little. What's wrong? Since you brought it, it's easy to deal with. After the matter is settled, let's go to the casino to play. I will teach you personally and guarantee that you will win a lot of money. Tsunade patted her chest and made a guarantee. Draw shocking arc. No, forget it. This time we come to the Land of Fire for business. Tianyu hurriedly shook his head when he heard this. Let Tsunade teach him how to gamble. What's the difference between this and throwing money into the water? Tsunade is a well-known big fat sheep. Every time she wins the bet, she only wins when someone around her is in serious danger. She loses completely on weekdays. Before she became Hokage, she owed a lot of debts. Giving money to Tsunade to gamble is faster than burning money with a lighter. Humph. I really miss the wine in the tavern. Since I became Hokage, I haven't drunk for a long time. Tianyu, why don't you accompany me tonight? Forget it, I forgot that you are only 13 years old, and you are not old enough to drink. Tsunade couldn't help laughing. Hearing this, Tianyu was a little helpless. But he didn't refute it. Although he looks like people can't help but ignore his age and treat him as a peer. But his real age is only 13. So it's better not to drink alcohol or anything like that. The feast is here. Shizune pushed open the door. Immediately, a waiter brought a table of delicacies. These foods are all special delicacies of the capital of the Land of Fire. If you want to know this table of delicacies on weekdays, you need to spend at least 10,000 taels. But perhaps Fenkwa had reminded him. So the owner of this inn didn't mention the matter of charging money. Instead, he took out the best food with a smile. Chapter 245 Emergency. Okay, let's eat. Tsunade smiled, got off the bed, and started eating while holding Tunton. Tianyu also sat aside. They started to enjoy the food. You know what, the food here tastes really good. Especially this chestnut yakin, which is very delicious. Even Tianyu, who doesn't like sweets, couldn't help but eat several. Tsunade and Shizune naturally need not say more. Shizune even secretly asked the boss how to make chestnut yakin. It seems that she wants to replicate this dessert after returning. I don't know if Shizune can make it. But Tianyu can look forward to it. Because she had to report the situation to the daimyo the next day. Tsunade could only stay in the room quietly to rest at night. But something happened in Konoha that day. The originally clear sky was suddenly covered by dark clouds, and then a huge figure appeared directly in front of everyone. For a moment, everyone in Konoha looked at the huge shadow that appeared in the sky. When this shadow appeared, everyone in Konoha was a little stunned. Because they didn't know what this shadow was doing. When this phantom appeared, the Anbu who stayed in Konoha were also on guard in secret. If there was any danger around, they would rush to the Hokage's office to protect the second Hokage and his men. However, compared to their protection of the second Hokage, it should be the first and second Hokage who should protect them. The remaining Jonin in the village began to gather, and they guarded the various critical passes in the village. They were guarding against the enemy's attack. At the same time, the phantom in the sky also slowly spoke. I am the Konoha ninja Hiruko. Through the Kita no Mitsu, I have already acquired the bloodline limit ninjutsu of the 4 major ninja villages. When I get the 5th bloodline limit, I will be invincible in the world and become a perfect ninja with an immortal body. I will use this power to trigger the 4th Ninja World War and then dominate everything. The phantom in the sky slowly spoke and stated his purpose. When Hiruko finished his words, the phantom also dissipated. Konoha once again regained its clear sky. Hiroyuki, I seem to have heard of this name. The second generation Hokage stood in front of the window, Frowning. Hiarayuki, Konoha did have such a ninja, but it was definitely not a teenager, because that ninja was the same age as Tsunade and the others. If he is still alive now, he is at least as old as Jiraiya. Jiraiya was originally teaching Naruto to practice. After all, the Rasengan ninjutsu is not the end. If other attributes are added to the Rasengan, the power of the Rasengan will become more powerful. However, even Minato Namikaze could not complete the creation of this technique, so Jiraiya did not know how to do it. He was slowly groping with Naruto. But when Jiraiya saw the phantom in the sky, his pupils shrank. Because he actually saw his childhood playmate. Well, Susanoo, what's wrong with you? Naruto looked at Jiraiya and asked with some confusion, and then Naruto also noticed the phantom in the sky. That should be a boy, right? He looks so young, but I haven't seen him in Konoha. Well, Susanoo, do you know him? Naruto asked curiously. At the same time, he looked at Jiraiya, and at this time, Naruto found that Jiraiya's hands were shaking. It was as if something big had happened. Naruto, you practice on your own first, I'm going to the Hokage's office. After saying this, Jiraiya ran directly to the Hokage's office. Second Hokage, did you see the phantom just now? Jiraiya ran out of breath. He didn't stop for a moment and came to the Hokage's office and pushed the door in without paying any attention to the greetings. I'm afraid there is no one in Konoha who can't see the phantom in the sky. You ran too embarrassedly. Hurry up and tidy yourself up. Senju Tobirama glanced at Jiraiya and said with some disgust. Okay. Jiraiya panted and breathed. After he finally took a breath, he looked at Senju Tobirama and continued. The phantom that appeared just now was once the playmate of me, Tsunade, and Orochimaru, Haruko. However, Haruko had died as early as the Third Ninja World War. Even if he was still alive, he could not look like a teenager. So the phantom that appeared in front of us, claiming to be Haruko, must not be believed. Jiraiya is a very good person. When Orochimaru left Konoha, Jiraiya persevered in chasing after Orochimaru. He wanted to ask why Orochimaru left. He never believed that Orochimaru would defect from Konoha. And later, as he thought, Orochimaru left Konoha for a hidden reason. So at the moment, he was unwilling to doubt his childhood playmate Haruko. Now he has become a despicable villain. I will naturally let the Anbu investigate this matter. Don't worry, just do your own thing. The second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama heard Jiraiya's words, looked at him meaningfully and said, But. No buts, don't forget your identity, and he disappeared during the Third Ninja World War, and his body has not been found, which means he may still be alive. You just heard that he used the Kidaraga technique to devour the bloodline limits of other ninjas from the 4 major countries, so even if he uses this technique to make himself younger, it is not a bad idea. The second-generation Hokage looked at Jiraiya and said, After all, the impure world reincarnation was invented by Senju Tobirama. As the inventor of this forbidden technique, Senju Tobirama certainly knew that there were many powers in the world that could make a person younger. Similarly, it could also make that person gain more power. However, if you want to use these ninjutsu, you have to pay a huge price. And sometimes this price is even a living life. So Senju Tobirama sealed up most of the ninjutsu he invented. It's because he knows the harm of this technique. Yes, I understand. Jiraiya heard this and could only obey. After Jiraiya finished speaking, he saluted and left the Hokage's office. Hokage-sama, what should we do now? Nara Shikoku looked at Senju Tobirama respectfully. In the era of Senju Tobirama, Nara Shikoku had not yet been born, but this did not prevent Nara Shikoku from growing up listening to the legends of Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama. Chapter 246, Biliuhu. The 2 most powerful Hokage in Konoha, even standing in front of them, could feel the majestic chakra in their bodies. It was a kind of crushing strength. When he stood in front of Senju Tobirama, he could not think of anything else. Send the Anbu to track down the whereabouts of Biruhu. Since he dared to leave his phantom here in Konoha, he must have left a mark. After a careful search, we will track him down and find out the location of his real body. The second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama said. Yes, I will send the Anbu right away. Nara Shikoku nodded. Wait, send the Anbu to the Land of Fire, the capital, to inform Amarji and Tsunade about this matter. The second-generation Hokage thought for a while and said. Yes. Nara Shikoku nodded and left quickly. After Nara Shikoku left, the second-generation Hokage asked the other Jonins who were still in the village to be on guard. strictly prevent other villages from attacking them. After all, what Hiruko said about launching the Fourth Ninja World War was really disadvantageous to Konoha. And more importantly, Hiruko also called himself a Konoha ninja. If other countries and villages used this excuse to attack them, it would be a bit troublesome. At the same time, in the 5 major countries, Sand Village, Chiao and Maki also saw Hiruko's shadow. Obviously, Hiruko's claim to be a Konoha ninja really surprised them. Especially launching the Fourth Ninja World War. This is not a joke. Once the battle starts, I'm afraid none of the 5 major countries can sit idly by. Whether it's active or passive, they have to participate. And once the war starts, then each village, whether it's the winner or the loser, will probably suffer heavy casualties. Chiao, is this really Konoha's declaration of war? Maki couldn't help asking. To be honest, Maki is very panicked now, he is really scared. Konoha has people like Tianyu, and the first and second generation Hokage are still in Konoha. Even though all the Jonin of Konoha were dead, only the first Hokage was left. No matter which ninja village they wanted to attack, it would be easy. And in front of the first Hokage, they didn't even have the strength to fight back. No, that Hiruko, I've never heard of his name, and if Konoha declared war, it would definitely be Tsunade or Amerji who stood up, but now it's Hiruko. I guess this is just that person's strategy, wanting to focus all our attention on Konoha, let us go to war with Konoha, and he will reap the benefits behind. Grandma Chiao immediately said Hiruko's idea. What if it's really Konoha that wants to start a war? Maki continued to ask. Because they had to prepare for the worst. If Konoha really wanted to start a war, the current Sand Village would definitely not be Konoha's opponent. Then they had only 2 choices to make. One was to lose the power of the entire village and go to war with Konoha, and then be defeated and destroyed by Konoha, and the other was to surrender. Declare allegiance to Konoha. They didn't want to make either of these 2 choices. Then let all the ninjas get ready. We will fight to the last man even if we die. But before that, send someone to Konoha to inquire about the specific situation. Send Temari. She is the daughter of Raza and her status is enough. Granny Chiao said sternly. Although Granny Chiao would compromise for the village and even pay some price to save the village. But if it really comes to last resort, then Granny Chiao would rather die than let the village surrender. Yes. Maki nodded, then went down to instruct the ninjas to prepare for war, and at the same time prepare for Temari to go to Konoha for various things. After Maki left, Gaara appeared in front of Granny Chiao. Fake, this is not what Konoha means. Gaara looked at Granny Chiao and said. Gaara only lived in Konoha for a few days, but it was during these few days that he knew that the current Konoha is not the Konoha of the past. Even if Tianyu is very domineering, likes to cheat people, and likes to ask for too much, he will not do such a thing. More importantly, if Konoha wants to start a war, it is estimated that the war was over at the moment of the announcement. They will not have time to react. I know that, but we have to prepare for the worst. Gaara, you are the last hope of Sand Village. If this is true, I hope you can lead some people to leave Sand Village. With you succeeding the 5th generation Kazakage, as long as you are here, there is still hope for our village. Granny Chiao grabbed Gaara's hand and said. Since Gaara returned to Sand Village, his personality has changed a lot. He is no longer as violent as before, but gentle and kind. Even though the village still has many complaints about Gaara, Gaara endured it, repaying the villagers with his kindness. In addition, Granny Chiao also told the villagers about Gaara's past, and everyone accepted Gaara more and more. Raza was originally Gaara's father, so Gaara took over Raza's position and became the 5th generation Kazakage. This is also a matter of course. Okay. Gaara nodded. Land of Earth, Rock Village. I knew Konoha's tail could no longer be hidden. I didn't expect them to start the 4th Ninja World War so soon. It really surprised me. Tiantian Shuonoki said without hesitation. But, father, there may be some misunderstandings. Konoha has never been a warlike village. Wang Tu couldn't help but say. Humph, this is a different time. There were no outstanding ninjas in Konoha before. Even if they wanted to start a war, there were no talents available. But now it's different. Not only did Emoji appear, but even the first Hokage Senju Hashirama and the second Hokage Senju Tabirama were brought back from the Pure Land by them. Konoha's ambitions may have expanded to an unimaginable level at this time. It is not impossible for them to dominate the ninja world with the help of the first Hokage. Tiantian Shuonoki sneered. But there was a trace of fear in his eyes. Tiantian Shuonoki will never forget the feeling of powerlessness when he faced Uchiha Madara. It was a feeling as if he was being stared at by an evil spirit. In front of Uchiha Madara, he didn't even have the strength to fight back. He was stared at the ground by Uchiha Madara's eyes and couldn't even move his body. Chapter 247, War Begins. That life-threatening feeling of death, he will never forget it in his life. That kind of terror and oppression has only been felt by Uchiha Madara in his life, no one else. Even now, his strength has reached the level of Kage, becoming the third-generation Tsuchikage. But he knows that if he faces Uchiha Madara now, he will still not be his opponent. Uchiha Madara is so powerful, not to mention Senju Hashirama who can defeat Uchiha Madara. In addition, the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama's water escape and various secret techniques, and Tianyu's assistance. The whole world will crawl at the feet of these three people. Father, if this is the case, we must be more prepared, but before that, we should send an envoy to Konoha to inquire. After all, if this matter is just an outsider who wants to sow discord, we will attack Konoha. Wouldn't it be a conspiracy by others? Wang Tu said after thinking for a moment. Okay, then send someone to Konoha. Just give the order that the war preparations must be done well. If there's any unusual movement in Konoha, take the initiative to attack and catch them off guard. 2-day scale Inoki said. Yes, father. Wang Tu nodded. Land of Water, Mist Village. How about it, Mizukage-sama, should we send troops to Konoha? Chojuro asked standing beside Terumi Mei. No need, Mist Village is surrounded by the sea. Even if they want to attack Mist Village, they must pass through the sea. There's our natural barrier. If we abandon the natural barrier and send people to attack Konoha on land, it will be putting the cart before the horse for us. Give the order that the whole village is under martial law. Once a ninja from Konoha arrives, immediately arrest him. At the same time, Chojuro, I hope you can go to Konoha for me and ask what is going on. Konoha doesn't seem like a place that can do such a big war. Terumi Mei also had doubts in her eyes. If this kind of thing was said by the Cloud Village or the Rock Village, that's understandable. After all, these two villages have always been ambitious and want to completely conquer the world. Let the whole world submit to them. But Konoha, since the first Hokage took office, has always been a country that desires peace. It will not launch any aggressive wars against other countries, and every war is a passive response. So this time there must be something that Konoha can't handle. They can't take action without authorization, otherwise, if that Baruko's words are just to provoke the relationship between them and the 5 major countries, then they will really be caught. After all, once the battle begins, it will not be easily stopped. There will definitely be countless casualties. And the comprehensive national strength of these countries will also be weakened. If they are attacked by someone at that time, it will be the last thing she wants to see. Yes, Mizukage, I understand. Chojuro nodded. The Cloud Village of the Land of Lightning. Bang! The 4th generation of Raikage smashed the table in front of him with a punch. Wood thorns splashed everywhere. This ignorant Konoha actually wants to start the 4th Ninja World War. Okay, then I will help you. Come on, start attacking Konoha immediately. After being provoked by the Phantom of Akiruko, the 4th generation Raikage AI did not hesitate to order the attack on Konoha. Lord Raikage, please be patient. This order cannot be given lightly. Once the war starts, it cannot be stopped easily. Now the Konoha Ninja Village, Hoshirama Senju, and Tobirama Senju have not left. Let alone, if the two of them attack, the ninjas of the Kumagakure village will not be able to resist at all. It is very likely that they will be completely defeated at the moment of contact. As the secretary of the Raikage, Momboi persuaded immediately. That's right, Lord Raikage, this matter is a bit strange. The people who are in charge of Konoha now are the 5th Hokage Tsunade and the one called Emergy. Even if the war is going to start, they should be the ones to announce it. Otherwise, it should be Jiraiya, or those high-level figures in Konoha that we know, and we have never heard of this Hokage. If a random person says that he is a Konoha ninja and wants to start the 4th Ninja World War, and if we just believe it without verification, in the end, it is very likely to cause extremely serious consequences. Daru, one of AI's assistants, persuaded. Things became a little serious, and Daru no longer had a lollipop in his mouth. That's right, this is the man's plan, stupid brother, you've been fooled. Killer Bee also looked at the fourth Raikage AI dancing and singing. This made AI's face even darker. But such advice made the fourth Raikage listen. Then we will postpone the arrangement and just let the ninjas continue to stand by. If we find out that Konoha really wants to start the fourth Ninja World War, then we will fight them to the end. I also want to see how powerful the power of the first Hokage is. AI said sternly. Yes. Hey, this is a good brother. On the Tower of the Rain Village. It rains heavily here all year round. Gloomy is the color here. This village seems to have lost its vitality, and all the people live like zombies. Above the tower, Uchiha Obito, wearing a shit yellow mask and a red cloud robe, stood on the top of the tower. The rain kept falling on him, but Obito seemed not to feel it. He always looked down and never left. It can be seen that Obito was in a bad mood, as if he was suppressing something. The next moment, the ground squirmed, and a white figure appeared directly in front of Obito. Obito, you also saw it, right? The phantom that appeared in Konoha, Obito, is going to start the fourth Ninja World War. That's stealing your job. White Zetsu said with a smile. He's just an ant who doesn't know his own limits. Don't worry about him. Konoha will naturally deal with him. Also, don't call me Obito anymore. I don't have a name. Obito replied. I forgot. I found out that the fifth blood limit that Obito wants to get seems to be the Sharingan. White Zetsu said with a smile. His words made Obito open his eyes successfully. The only eye exposed under the mask suddenly turned scarlet. And Obito's reaction satisfied White Zetsu. He continued to speak and told the news he had inquired about. Chapter 248 Kakashi as bait. The only people who have Sharingan in Konoha now are Uchiha Sasuke's Sharingan and Hatake Kakashi's. I heard that Uchiha Sasuke was sent to Orochimaru. That guy is not easy to deal with. Then, perhaps the only choice for Haruko is Hatake Kakashi. After the voice of White Zetsu fell. Boom. A building around Obito collapsed directly and turned into ruins. Then, Uchiha Obito turned around and left without saying a word. White Zetsu stood there, looking at the direction where Obito left. After a while, he suddenly laughed. Well, things are getting more and more interesting. The capital of the Land of Fire. Tianyu originally accompanied Tsunade to the Land of Fire, and met a daimyo in the capital to report the situation of Konoha and asked the Land of Fire to provide assistance to Konoha. But what was unexpected was that the incident of Haruko happened. Tsunade, Konoha must come up with a solution before the five great nations hold it accountable. Otherwise, I will have to think carefully about future assistance to Konoha. The daimyo frowned as he looked at Tsunade. Although this was not a harsh remark, it let Tsunade and the others know that the daimyo must be angry. After all, what Obito said before was indeed a bit too much. Claiming to be a ninja of Konoha and to start the fourth Ninja World War. It was simply arrogant. Yes, we understand. Tsunade nodded. Withdraw. The daimyo waved his hand and asked Tsunade and Amerji to leave. Please go in, Lady Tsunade, Lady Amerji. Fudori led them out of the palace. Tsunade-sama, Amerji-sama, please don't be angry. The daimyo's words are not directed at Konoha, but he wants you to come up with a definite method as soon as possible. After Hideyuki said that, the other four daimyo of the five great countries have sent inquiries to the daimyo, and the daimyo is now a little troubled. Fudo looked at them and persuaded them. I know that this matter is also Konoha's fault. We will come up with a solution as soon as possible. Please rest assured. Tsunade nodded. That's good. Then, everyone, I won't see you off. You should go back to Konoha to deal with it. After saying this, Fudo saluted them. Then he went straight back to the palace. Amerji, what do you think should be done with this matter? I didn't expect Hideyuki to be so bold that he dared to publicly declare himself a Konoha ninja and to launch the fourth Ninja World War. Tsunade gritted her teeth when she mentioned the name Hideyuki. That guy was not a good guy since he was young. He was not very talented in training. No matter how the teacher taught him, his grades were always at the bottom of the class. But at that time, Tsunade, Jiraiya and Orochimaru never looked down on him. Instead, they always took him to train and practice. Later, Hiruhu started to do some experiments. Although they noticed it at that time, when they wanted to persuade Hiruhu to stop the experiment, Hiruhu disappeared in a battle. Although the body was not found, it was also recorded as dead. At that time, Tsunade and the others were sad for Hiruhu's death for a long time. But what they didn't expect was that the guy turned out to be such a person. I guess he thinks that he can defeat everyone after absorbing the 5th blood limit. It's a good thing to have confidence in yourself, but being too arrogant can only be a bad thing. Tianyu sneered when he said this. He doubted whether the villains in this world were all brainless people. Before announcing their plans, they didn't think about whether they were strong enough to be enemies with the world. To start the 4th Ninja World War, you must at least have the power of Senju Hashirama. If it really doesn't work, Uchiha Madara's power is also possible. But just absorbing 5 bloodline limits, thinking that he is invincible is simply too ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that Tianyu doesn't know whether to say that Oku is arrogant or confident. Now we have to go back to the village, deal with Oku, and then find the daimyo and explain the situation clearly. The most important thing now is to send someone to inform other ninja villages that Oku is no longer a ninja of Konoha. What he said can't represent Konoha at all. Otherwise, I'm afraid other villages will take action against us first. Tianyu frowned and said. The incident with Oku should have happened when Naruto was about 15 years old. But I didn't expect the timeline to change, and Oku came out so early. In this way, combined with Tsunade and Might Guy's talk about Kakashi a few days ago, Tianyu can be 100% sure that the guy should have been eyeing Kakashi for a long time. Recently, he wants to bring Kakashi to him and take Kakashi's Sharingan. In this way, Tianyu will naturally not let Oku succeed. Okay, Tsunade nodded. Tianyu was not polite, hugged Tsunade and Shizune, and directly performed the Flying Thunder God technique and returned to Konoha. Forcibly holding back the dizziness brought by the Flying Thunder God technique, they went to the Hokage's office as soon as they returned to Konoha. However, it was already night in Konoha, and the streets were quiet and stable. Second Grandpa, how is the recent situation? Tsunade asked anxiously. Nothing serious for now. I have sent people from the Anbu to find the whereabouts of Baleyuhu. I believe that he will be able to find his whereabouts soon. At that time, I will send someone to capture Baleyuhu and give everyone an explanation. Senju Tobirama said. Senju Tobirama did not take this matter as a big deal. After all, in his era, the other ninja villages were all quiet and honest. It was impossible to say anything around him. After all, people were afraid that he would let Senju Hashirama go if he couldn't think straight. This is a strategic deterrent weapon. If it is used, other ninja villages will definitely not be able to bear it. Okay, but Akiruko has actually used the Kararinoyer technique to absorb the bloodline limits of the other 4 people, which means that his strength is not weak. If we want to send someone over, I suggest that we let. I'll go. Before Tsunade finished her words, Jiraiya pushed the door open. Jiraiya, what are you doing? Don't forget that you still have to continue training Naruto. Tsunade frowned at Jiraiya and said. Oh, Tsunade, you really haven't changed. Orochimaru smiled and walked out from behind Jiraiya. Orochimaru still looked gloomy, but he was much more intimate when talking to Tsunade. Chapter 249 Jiraiya's Persistence. Obviously, after Sarutobi Hiruzen died, the truth was revealed, and the relationship between the 3 ninjas returned to what it was before. Although Orochimaru has left Konoha and is no longer a ninja of Konoha, he is still an ally of Konoha. He also has the right to enter and leave Konoha. Orochimaru, why are you here too? Haven't you been staying in the Sound Village in the land of rice? Tsunade looked at Orochimaru. Second generation, sir. Orochimaru first bowed respectfully to Senju Tobirama, then looked at Tsunade and continued, that's right, but the image of Akira was also transmitted to the land of rice, so I naturally saw it, and speaking of this Kararaya no Jutsu, I also have some understanding of it. Do you remember Danzo's arm? Orochimaru talked about Danzo. Tell me about it. Senju Tobirama hugged his arm and looked at Orochimaru. The second Hokage should know that I was coerced by Danzo Shimura to help him transplant a Sharingan onto his arm. After that time, I discovered that the power of the Sharingan was very strong. If used properly, it would bring extremely powerful strength. At that time, I once took the documents home. Then one time I found that my documents seemed to have been tampered with. After my investigation, I found that it was a Bido who had read my documents, but at that time, it only contained an investigation report on the Sharingan, so I didn't take it seriously. But now think about it, a Bido might have been thinking about the Sharingan as early as that time. Then, the last vision of the 5 bloodline limits should be the Sharingan. Now the only ones who still possess the Sharingan in the entire ninja world are my apprentice Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha Itachi of the Akatsuki organization, and Kakashi Hatake of Konoha. Uchiha Sasuke is still young, and the power of the Sharingan cannot be exerted to its strongest. Uchiha Itachi is powerful. When Orochimaru talked about Itachi, he recalled more than once the shock he felt when he discovered Itachi's power. With eyes that powerful, it's no wonder he was targeted. If Haruko wants to deal with Uchiha Itachi, he will have to pay a huge price. Now Uchiha Itachi is in the Akatsuki organization. The people in that organization are all cage level. If he wants to cause trouble for them, I'm afraid Haruko can't do it alone, so there's only one person left, that is Hatake Kakashi. Orochimaru said with a smile. So we can use Hatake Kakashi as bait to find Haruko and then kill him. Orochimaru said with a smile. That's indeed a good idea. Tsunade nodded after hearing this. Then let me go, leave this task to me. Jiraiya once again fought for it. No, Jiraiya, I know you are a kind person, and I also know you are nostalgic. You want to bring Haruko back alive, right? But I tell you, not to mention what Haruko announced in public that day, Konoha will execute him for studying the Kira-Raga technique without authorization and devouring the bloodline limit ninjas of the other 4 major countries. So catching him and killing him is the best choice. Otherwise, once he is brought back to Konoha, other countries will definitely ask us to hand over Haruko, which will be even more troublesome for Konoha. Tsunade refused without hesitation. There is nothing to forgive about Haruko. He has been cruel since he was a child. If he still had a little attachment to Konoha, he would not have said such a thing. Konoha has become the target of the 5 major countries. Yes, I think so too. Orochimaru also nodded in agreement. But I still want to try. If there's any hidden story behind this, then I killed the wrong person. Jiraiya said anxiously. Jiraiya, what's wrong with you, you? Tsunade got a little angry after hearing what Jiraiya said. Well, in my opinion, I'll go with Jiraiya, so that if there's anything wrong with Obito, I can stop it in time, and if he really has something to hide, I can find out the first time. Tianyu interrupted Tsunade and said. Okay, then you can go with Jiraiya. Tianyu, thank you for your help. Jiraiya looked at Tianyu with some guilt. After all, if it weren't for him, Tianyu wouldn't have to make another trip. What's the trouble? Konoha is my home, and this kind of thing is my responsibility. By the way, I haven't had time to ask you, how is Naruto's training going? Tianyu said this, even Orochimaru couldn't help but look at Jiraiya. After all, after his training, Sasuke has become much stronger. Even Kakashi's Reikiri Sasuke is trying to invent more moves. The purpose is to make himself stronger. And although Sasuke didn't say it, Orochimaru knew it. Sasuke has always regarded Naruto as his opponent. The training is good, and there has been progress. I believe that as long as a period of time passes, he will be able to integrate the change of chakra attributes into the Rasengan. By then, I believe that the Rasengan will definitely be able to change from an A-level ninjutsu to an S-level ninjutsu. Jiraiya is also very confident about this. After all, this is the ninjutsu created by Minato Namikaze. It is best for Naruto to perfect this ninjutsu and carry it forward. Then I look forward to his results. Tianyu smiled. Wait until the Anbu come back, then you can go. Senju Tobirama received the news from the Anbu that they have found the base camp of Haruko. Now they are rushing to that place to investigate. Let those Anbu withdraw quickly. Haruko has absorbed 4 bloodline limits, so his power has surpassed the level of Kage. If the Anbu go again, if they are discovered, I am afraid that the Anbu sent there will not be able to come back. Tianyu knew that the 3 Anbu in the original work did not even find their bodies in the end. In the current situation of Konoha, although there is no shortage of excellent ninjas, there are very few who can enter the Anbu. It is better not to let them die in vain. But in this way, you will not be able to get accurate information. Senju Tobirama looked at Tianyu and said. It doesn't matter. I have learned the Flying Thunder God technique now, and I have left the technique here in Konoha. If there is any danger, I will use the Flying Thunder God technique to bring Jiraiya back at any time. What's more, I don't think Akunoki will be stronger than me, and maybe we will have mysterious reinforcements. Tianyu said with a smile. Chapter 250 Discussion, Pursuit Team. Akatsuki's White Zetsu is first rate in intelligence gathering. Obito must have known about the big fight between Obito and Haruho. Obito is a very complicated person. He lost faith in the ninja world because of Rin's death. So he chose the Moon Eye project, hoping to let everyone get a false peace from their dreams. But he treated Kakashi differently. After all, no matter how much Obito tried, he never thought about getting Kakashi's eye back. Reinforcements. Everyone was a little confused. It's a secret. Tianyu smiled. Tsunade-sama, Kakashi wants to see you. Outside the Hokage's office. Kakashi knocked on the door. Come in. Tsunade nodded. Kakashi walked into the Hokage's office. Tianyu looked at Kakashi and found a puppet mark on Kakashi's forehead. This puppet mark was constantly eroding Kakashi's consciousness. When Kakashi's willpower could not resist, he would be controlled by the puppet and go to where Hiruko was. Hokage's, Armory, this time, Hiruko is coming for me, so I hope I can handle this matter this time. Kakashi had a short sword on his back. It was obvious that Kakashi had practiced swordsmanship well recently. Although he had lost it for so many years, he could use it easily after practicing for a few days. What we just discussed was the issue of Hiruko. We already know about your situation. We decided to let you be the bait, and Amaji and Jiraiya will follow behind you to monitor. When Hiruko appears, we will take him down and bring him back. Tsunade looked at Kakashi and said. So you have made a decision? Then do as you said. Next, I will let this puppet mark go to Hiruko's side. The rest is up to Amaji and Jiraiya. If there is an accident, Hiruko will be left to me and I will deal with it myself. Kakashi was stunned for a moment, then nodded. But he still said the last sentence with some uneasiness. Listening to Kakashi's words, Tianyu folded his arms and looked at the short sword behind Kakashi. Kakashi, if we fail, what will you do? There is a spell sealed on this sword. Once this spell is activated, the person who controls the sword and the enemy will be sealed in a different space. At that time, I will activate this spell and die with Hiruko. Once that time comes, I will find a way to send this Sharingan out. I hope that Tianyu can keep it well. Kakashi said this to Tianyu, as if he was telling his last words. Obito once gave him this Sharingan as a gift for promotion to Jonin. If something unexpected happens to him this time, then Kakashi will leave this Sharingan to Tianyu. Because Kakashi knows that Tianyu is the first person who can change Konoha in the future. If Tianyu hadn't taken action before, there would be no Konoha now. All of this was brought by Tianyu, and he is qualified to inherit this eye. Don't be so pessimistic. With Jiraiya and I, there will be no problem. Tianyu heard this, sighed, stepped forward and patted Kakashi on the shoulder and said. Yes, believe me, if Hiruko is really that kind of evil person, I will definitely kill him with my own hands. Jiraiya's expression also became solemn. Obviously, after seeing Kakashi's determination, he thought that he could not go on like this. After all, if he was soft-hearted on the battlefield, then it might be his companions who would die. This is something he absolutely cannot tolerate. Then everything is up to you two. Kakashi nodded. Hiroshi must have subordinates, and his subordinates will clear the obstacles behind Kakashi when he moves forward, so we have to send Konoha's pursuit team to pursue Kakashi, to make it look like it, so that the Hiroshi won't suspect us. If there is no problem, I want to send Shikamaru, Traji, Niji, and, of course there is me, Brother Amaji, you can't forget me. Naruto didn't know when he appeared outside the Hokage's office. So when Amaji announced the list of wanted people, Naruto deliberately couldn't hold on and came in directly, volunteering to participate. After all, Kakashi is the teacher of Team 7. He is also very good to him. Although he is sometimes partial to Sasuke, he is also one of the few people who treats him well when Naruto is spurned by those people in the village. So Naruto certainly won't watch Kakashi leave like this. Naruto, this is the Hokage's office, can you just barge in without saying hello? Tsunade suddenly got angry. But when Tsunade saw Amaji's calm look, she understood something instantly. Yes, Amaji's perception ability is very strong. Naruto was standing outside and Amaji would definitely notice it. Now Naruto broke in, maybe he just fell into Amaji's plan. Well, Tsunade, Hokage-sama, I was just too worried about Kakashi-sensei, so let me go. Now my strength has also increased. Brother Amaji can testify for me. I will definitely not hold everyone back if I go. Naruto hurriedly assured. Well, I can testify to this. Naruto is indeed very strong. Amaji said with a smile. Then it's decided that the pursuit will be Ino Shikacho, Niji, and Naruto. Kakashi will be the bait, and Amaji and Jiraiya will support from the secret. Let's set off tonight. Konoha will cooperate with your action as much as possible. Senju Tobirama made the final decision. Yes. Everyone nodded together. Then I should go too. Orochimaru finished his work and turned to leave. Orochimaru, wait a minute, I have something for you to do. Shianai looked at Orochimaru and said. Oh. Although Orochimaru was a little confused, he still listened to Shianayu's words and stood aside. The others left the Hokage's office. Tell me, what do you want me to do? Orochimaru sat on the sofa without hesitation, looked up at Shianayu and asked. Shianayu was also unceremonious. Now there were only 4 people left in the Hokage's office, Tobirama Senju, Tsunade, him and Orochimaru. What he was going to say later would never be leaked among these 4 people. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.